name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, I'm Ali. I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid, and she is just a little bit obsessed with mushrooms.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Ember. I'm a wildfire druid who's on a quest to be the very best there ever was.
Hi, I'm Dave, and I play Harry Harrington, the Harrengon, the roguish merchant with the heart of gold.
My name is Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew, the romantic dancing Owlin, Paladin of devotion.
Hi, my name is Matt, and I'll be playing Niles Silverwind, the Owlin, Way of the Sympathy Monk.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I play the character of Threign, the boisterous frost giant, the Goliath, path of the giant Barbarian.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello, everybody. Hello, and welcome back to the Lost Archives. It's so good to see all of you again. How you all doing? It's been too long. It's been way too long. We are here, we are ready, we're excited. We've got an awesome episode ahead of you. And I'm not just saying that because I potentially get to play one of my favorite NPCs again. Very excited to be jumping back in. Fun news behind the scenes. This isn't fun, but we do have an apology. Unfortunately, Simon's not able to make it on tonight. He's currently on a plane up to the Gold Coast. So I'll be hanging out with Si, not for fun, for work stuff tomorrow and Friday. But unfortunately, it does mean that he's not able to make the session tonight. So I will play the character of Ember, which is easy to do. No dramas there at all. Other fun news to share. Very, very timely. Right as I had finished the most recent... basically got through all of the early access content in Aloft. They dropped a big major update today, so I've now got more stuff that I can record. They've added a whole bunch of stuff, including little tiny desert mice in the desert biome, along with lizards, frogs, all these critters that you can help find, gather, and then put throughout the different islands to fix the biosphere. It's really cool. So I'm having a lot of fun with that. There'll be a new update for that coming shortly. I'll have some more episodes. I have gotten a very weird bug where I can't board the big Leviathan for the final boss. So I've chatted to the devs and we're going to try and figure out a bug fix. So we'll see. Hopefully there's a fix for that very, very shortly. But I'm not the only one. So we've had a few people in the Discord today chatting to the devs, doing some testing and letting them know what's working, what's not working, and hopefully we can get that all solved. So I'll be back to you on that one very shortly. And that's pretty much the only fun news to share. Those of you who joined us earlier in the week would know that we survived the cyclone all okay. Fortunately, Christian lost power for a bit, but he's got it back now. He's here. Power is restored. All is right in the world once again.
And more importantly, internet.
More importantly, internet. Yeah.
That's very important.
It was pretty dicey for those. I won't do the same spiel 3 days in a row, but for those of you who aren't up to date, the cyclone kind of stalled off the coast, deviated towards the northern section of New South Wales, absolutely fucked up a whole bunch of the towns there, whipped through the Gold Coast, caused a lot of damage to the Gold Coast. To my favorite suburb as well, Labrador, unfortunately, took a massive beating. I think out of all of the suburbs on the Gold Coast, it got hit the hardest, poor Labrador, which is just the suburb next to us, so we got pretty lucky. Cyclone then kind of lost a bit of steam, hit the top of Brisbane, I think, as a tropical low, and then just dumped way too much water over the whole northern part of Brisbane, down through Logan, and finally sort of blew itself out on Monday. But it was a bit dicey. There were some trees that came down too close for comfort to me. Luckily, none hit us. There's no major damage. The shed flooded, as I predicted. That mini that I put in the shed is gone. I have no idea where. I'm going to take Lumi for a walk down the back once the stormwater drains have finished sort of transporting millions of litres of water when it's a normal trickle again, and I'm not worried about her going in the water. I'll go and have a look and see if she can sniff it out for me. She's pretty good at that, so I reckon she'll hopefully, if it's there, she'll help me find it. But yeah, the little mini I put in the shed, the misprinted orc, as Ali so very intelligently put before, it's a Maloran orc now. It's now out to sea. It's been washed away in the floods. That's all the fun news. Yeah, exactly. That's it. He's going to go make Drifthaven from all of the re-uncovered boats that have been revealed by erosion. Did you guys see that? A shipwreck that's been lost for a long, long time was revealed by the erosion on the beach up on the sunny coast.
The comet, right?
The comet. How crazy is that? But also, how bad is that? That means that's how bad the erosion was. That a ship that had been buried for how many years was it? 50, 60 years or something? It was a long time it had been buried for. Maybe even longer.
That's a lot of sand.
Yeah, it's a lot of sand. That's pretty crazy. The last bit of fun news, Dave's back. Welcome back, Dave. How you doing? Muted once again. Classic Dave.
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah. I think it was more enthusiastic the first time I said it when I was
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
You'll never know.
Yeah, that's very fair. Welcome back. It's lovely
Glad
to have
to
you
be
back.
back.
You haven't
How's
missed...
it to be back? Good. It's
Good,
good.
yeah. I'm so excited, yeah, mate.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
Ready for
on
shenanigans.
Twitter. Sorry, I'll talk later. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm playing Rocket League in the background.
Yeah, just on my bottom screen playing Rocket League.
Man, how good's Games Pass? Just really enjoying Games Pass. Yeah, it's just the
Well,
best.
that's
What are you
worth
doing in Games Pass? Just enjoying it. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, just looking through the library and seeing that there's nothing to play, but there's like a bazillion things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the choice paralysis fallacy, right? Where there's too much choice, and so now you can't make a choice, and you end up in the same position as if there was no choice at all. Very deep for a Wednesday.
And you just end up scrolling.
That's it. That's it exactly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, let's do our recap. I've got a solid recap to catch you up, Dave. You didn't miss too much stuff. Had a little bit with Ember going off and doing some stuff on his own. Party mostly sharing what they'd learned with Mira. Bit of a discussion around the Heartstones, but we didn't really touch too much with Figment and that, obviously because you weren't here, and it's a conversation we kind of want to have Harry around for. So focus on some other stuff. But yeah, let's jump in. Let's do the recap and let's get started. So, previously. The Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, is taking on the threat posed by the return of the Giants. Lyra, Niles, Harry, Ember, Threign, and newcomer Bartholomew have returned to the surface after an extended expedition through the Underdark, and are now preparing for a journey northward. With Mira currently in a meeting with the Oxenfurt Council, and Lockie off organising their catch-up with Sinmare, the team had some spare time to explore the city. Heading over to the Tempest Guild blacksmith, a tabaxi called Howls Under the Earth, the team traded some items they had recovered, including Bahir skin and a mithril belt, in exchange for supplies and some enchanted items. While the party were focused on the items they had recovered, Harry slipped away and headed towards the Central Merchant Bank of Oxenfurt and the secret Thieves Guild headquarters contained within. Reporting to Secret, a tiefling businesswoman and current head of the Oxenfurt chapter of the Thieves Guild, Harry shared the details of his adventures with the Tempest Guild. Meanwhile, back at the Night Hall, the group headed into Griswold's tower to meet with the gnome Artificer. After getting some items appraised and Lyra scanned for signs of Fey mischief, the focus soon turned to the Heartstones, Griswold examining them and then needing some quiet time to analyse the results. While Bart wandered the streets near the airship and enjoyed browsing an antique store, the others travelled down to the Sea Dock to get magic-infused tattoos at Inkspren's. With everyone but Ember deciding on their favourite tattoos, the team endured the discomfort of the needle as lines of glowing ink began to etch across their skin. So impressed by Inkspren's work, the group offered the strange aquatic being a position at the guild, an offer the creature accepted. While Harry accompanied Inkspren on a romantic walk through the gardens on the way back to the Night Hall, the rest of the team headed over to the Unseen University to meet with Professor Grell and inform him of the death of his colleague Davian Hornsorrow. Remembering his friend over a pint of ale, or in Bart's case, a large blue cocktail, the mood soon changed to one of revelry, the escalation in chaos due to Bart's inebriation soon causing the group to flee back to the Night Hall. Meeting with Mira, the team spent some time sharing all they had experienced in the Underdark and their concerns regarding Obsidian Foot's Warhammer and the Devil Vice. After discussing plans to deal with the Devil, a conversation quickly turned toward the Eris Theocracy and the need for more information, Mira deciding to engage the Harpers to attempt infiltration of both the Eris Sky Castle and the Silverwind family. Knowing that Lockie could be a day or two before returning to escort the team to meet with the Storm Giants, the group decided to head south in the morning to Wilwood and the Flesh Sculptor hiding there, in the hope that it could restore Bart's wings. While attempting to catch up on some well-earned sleep, Ember found himself experiencing an intense and seemingly prophetic dream in which he watched flames begin to burn away his homeland, the Ashgrove, mountains erupting and spewing forth an endless stream of dark soot and burning lava covering the lands. Disturbed by this vision, Ember rushed over to the Messenger Guild tower to seek some news from his home. Bullying a Swan Aarakocra supervisor into giving him both the news he feared, the eruption of a volcano off the coast near his grove, and a detailed map of the area, Ember returned to the guild with his heart heavy. We left off last session though, as the group reunited in the crisp early morning air to meet their hired airship captain to take them to Wilwood. To their surprise, however, the guild had booked a tourist airship, the last-minute nature of their trip somewhat limiting the available options. And we left off as you all had gathered out the front of the Night Hall and been met by this Air Ganassi Sky Captain. She's youngish, looks to be sort of late 20s, early 30s. You can see her hair billowing almost cloud-like as it drapes down around her shoulders on one side, the other side shaved. Very bright, almost like blue-grey eyes peering at you. This broad smile on her face. And the bit you missed, Harry, was as you guys stepped out. She was like, "Hi guys, are you the Tempest Guild? Very exciting." Everyone basically was like, "We don't trust this level of energy, what's going on?" Rolled a bit of an insight check. And it turned out, yeah, it was a tourist airship. Because of the last minute nature of the booking, the only airship that was available to take you guys quickly and directly to Wilwood was a airship belonging to the Oxenfurt Tour Guide Association. And you are currently taking the Oxenfurt Tour ship 02 as you board onto this very small sky skipper. We'll jump back in right where we left off. Yes, Harry.
Can we just say that Harry filled in those forms and registered with the guild and got a cash payout?
100%. Yes, we can. 100%. Before you head to bed, Mira sits down with you, takes you through everything you need to know, gives you the forms. Return them in the morning once you've had the chance to read over them, and we can get you all signed up straight away.
And how much was my signing bonus?
Let me pull it open. I believe it was
the important
100.
number.
I think it was 150.
100.
I think it was 150. Let me pull it open.
Well, it is now.
That was a signing bonus?
Yeah, that was your starting gold. Remember?
We had the starting gold?
You got a starting decanter of endless water, my friend. I don't think you're in a position to.
you and Niles probably got a referral bonus as well.
Yeah, maybe there is. We should talk about potential referral bonus. Not a bad idea.
Just a gift card for the food court at the night hall.
Yeah, no, that's it. It's an IOU saying like, we'll pay 150 gold pieces. No, I think let's say for the moment, I can't remember if it was 100 or 150, and my OneNote is really lagging at the moment. I'm not quite sure why, so I might just restart that. Let's say it's 100 for the moment. I can always give you an extra 50 later on if you need.
Okay.
Dave's like removing 50 gold from his bank right now.
Yeah.
Straight away, he was like 150. Yeah, I'm pretty. I'm like 50% sure it was 150, and I'm 50% sure it was 100. Let's say the 100, and I can always give you an extra 50 as it reloads.
Next time we go shopping, Monopoly, make error in my favor. That's fine.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. 1 second prize in a beauty contest is your 50 gold.
Collect dividends.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you've been elected chairman of the board. You're chairman of the guild now, Harry. You got to pay everyone 50 gold pieces. As you step up the gangplank, walking past the Heiress Theocracy Messenger Guild Tower, as you make your way onto the deck of the airship. This is a much smaller airship than any of you would have really seen or been on before. Harry, the times you would have traveled by airship, it would have been the really large merchant ships. Very, very large, heavy, like swollen behemoths that move across the sky really slowly and have multiple decks to stack up goods and services that are needed to be transported across the continent and further afield. This is not that. This is like the rowboat equivalent of it. This is like the lifeboat that's deployed from one of those merchant ships you've been on. We're talking maybe 20 meters long and maybe 5 meters wide. The central sail doesn't rise from the main deck of the ship. There's not really enough space. Instead, it has the 2 side sails that come out almost like the fins of a fish coming out from the side that are lower and raised to create these very large, like air-catching devices. And you can see that the central power for this vessel, rather than being the enormous engines, these arcane engines that power the larger skyships, this one's using an old floatstone, an enchanted crystal that basically generates lift from the elemental plane of air. This is a tourist ship. For Niles and Bart, you know the same information looking at this. And Lyra, for you, comparing this to an Air of Decency, the airship that the guild employs, it's not a great comparison as you look at this thing. Like, it's in fair nick, but this is very much old, outdated technology. You think this could even be, as you examine it closely, possibly an lifeboat that's been converted into a little sky skipper as you look at it. And as you get onto
it still beats walking.
It does still beat walking. That's very true. And as you step onto the deck of the ship, the skyship captain giving you all a big wave, you can see just down, sunken into like this half deck, what looks like probably the bridge of this vessel, sunken back a little bit of ways at the very, very back of the vessel. Glass dome over the top to sort of provide a bit of an aerial view. You can see what looks like 2 engineers currently operating the ship. One of whom is currently working away at the engine. Looks like maybe a half elf, maybe half high elf, judging by the appearance. Ears aren't quite as long and pointed. You can see the hair is clipped very short. Very like youngish man, maybe late teens, early 20s. And he seems to be under the supervision of a much older, more grizzled looking engineer. Hard to say, maybe human. Very, very large, thick beard and hair draping down, covered in soot and grease. And you can see very, very large denim-like overalls with various tools kept in pockets all over. And you can see this grizzled man pointing to various things. The young kid sort of rushing around, getting bits done, occasionally like having to go back and do something again. As you see the man go like, you can hear sort of muffled through the dome, pointing back, like shaking his head, pulling out like a different wrench and handing it to the kid, who then goes and does a bit more work. And as you get on board, the skyship captain turns around and goes, right, okay, so few safety messages before we all depart. Has anyone been on an airship before?
Maybe once or twice.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Ember and Threign. Would Ember have been on an airship before? Probably not.
We took the air decency.
Oh, you did. So yeah, sorry. Then everyone raises their hands. Yeah, everyone raises their hands.
Well, except for Bart.
Except for Bart. But Bart's been on an airship before.
Did we take the airship? No. Did we take the airship back?
Nah, you didn't.
No, he teleported us.
You teleported.
Ah, yeah, that's right.
Well, okay, that's really good. If you've all been on an airship before, then some of this will be old news. Make sure that you keep your hands and feet inside on the deck at all times. There's going to be a bubble of air around this that stops that wind from whipping you off the deck. But if you put your hand too far, it's going to go outside the shell and you'll lose your hand and your arm, and all of you will go overboard. Now, we have some tokens that you can hold on to that will activate a featherfall spell if you are accidentally knocked off the deck of the ship. All you need to do to activate it is hold onto it. It needs to be touching your skin. We've provided little bracelets for this to be underneath your skin at all times, like on the surface. Just make sure you hand those back once you depart the vessel. Okay. And then she begins handing out these little like leather bracelets with a tiny engraved token in the shape of a feather carved into stone on it.
Harry is quite clearly not paying attention to the safety brief.
Just a quick question. I mean, do people fall overboard frequently enough to warrant handing out wrist, attached featherfall tokens?
For legal reasons, I'm not allowed to discuss any pending or past lawsuits.
Oh.
Theoretically speaking?
That's info.
Is there like a really big cross breeze or something?
Here at the Oxenfurt,
you had to speak, and you knew it pretty quickly off by
here
heart.
at Oxenfurt Tours, we take safety very seriously. So seriously that we make sure everyone is well prepared for any disaster.
Are there other guests on the ship?
No, it's just you guys.
It's not my best, but could I do an investigation check at the surrounding ship to see its damage, pre-damage?
That's very fair. Now, I'm your skipper. You can call me Cumulus, or if you're feeling fun, Loose. 20 for the investigation check. Unnatural 20. That's a natural 19. That is not bad. But while Luce goes on with the rest of her conversation, talking through the safety briefing and stuff, you and Harry both have really switched off in this moment. You can see Harry's not giving any shits or any attention to what's happening right now. You're focusing your attention on the general vibe of the ship. As you examine it, Bart, this ship is old. You can see very clearly signs where it's been repaired a number of times, but nothing to indicate systematic or like real problems with the ship itself. It just looks like this is an older vessel that's been touched up and repaired to the best of their ability, number of times. Nothing indicating like direct damage, more just age as parts have worn and failed. More to the point, looking inside the engineering bays, you have a bit of a peek over. Yeah, the young kid doesn't know at all what he's doing, but that older man who's with him does seem to know his shit. You watch as almost without looking, he heads over, begins like turning a few levers, pulling on a few ropes, still giving instructions to the young kid as the airship begins to slowly take off, almost entirely done without even looking at what he's doing by this older man. You get the sense this man really does know his shit as he's working on this. And as you look at them, there's a family resemblance here as well, but as you look very closely, you can see that That young kid, he's got the same nose, the same cheekbones as clearly either his father or grandfather. Given that the kid's a half-elf, it's possible this is his father. Elves age a lot slower, so it's possible that, yeah, he's currently doing an internship with his dad or with his granddad. Or uncle, I guess, could be uncle as well. But as you look at it, there's definitely a family resemblance there. And you can see that even though there's gruff instructions being given, the kid's following them pretty quickly and efficiently and doing what he's told. And he doesn't seem to make the same mistake twice. You watch as, after being told about some aspect of the ship he's working on, he has to be told again, comes back and gets it right, and then moves over, does something else, comes back and does it perfectly the next time around. So you get the sense you're in pretty safe hands.
Okay.
I like to put a little bit of fear into their minds, and then if they roll like really badly, it's like, yeah, fuck this shit. You have no fucking clue. This ship could fall apart mid-air, like, at any moment. The magic could fail, and you're going to plummet out of the sky. And those featherfall tokens, how do you know they're featherfall tokens? They just could be stone. Like, who knows? It's just someone carved a feather and put it on a bit of leather. Like, insurance payout for a corpse is probably cheaper than like lifetime of like physical therapy and things. It's probably cheaper to just have you die. Yeah, so that's not the truth. It's all okay. The ship looks good. As Luce goes through the rest of her sort of briefing, it's all the obvious stuff. Exits are all around in case of an emergency. Your featherfall token will protect you. Just dive over the side, not towards the back of the boat, or not the front, because the boat will run over the top of you. But the sides are good. Any of the sides, you just throw yourself overboard if there's any trouble. The clue for that will be when I throw myself overboard, screaming, "Evacuate!" And when you hear that, you dive over. Okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Now I see we have
Why
some.
not the back?
Why not the back? Well, there's a little bit of a thing with the back of the ship to provide us with propulsion. We don't just rely on air. We've got a few engines, and sometimes the smoke from those, when we're up really high and we've got those engaged, those engines can cause very, very slight cases of choking. Yeah, so just make sure you're not behind the boat when that exhaust is pushed out.
Good to know.
Yeah.
Yes, for those of you who are gifted with the ability to fly, I can see we've got 2 Owlin friends here with us today. Do be careful not to go flying around the ship. Again, that sort of bubble of air, the barrier between that, whereas not too much wind inside and lots of wind outside, can be a bit disorienting if you're not used to it. So I have to, for insurance purposes, tell you that you cannot go flying outside that bubble, okay?
I don't think you have to worry about that.
Okay.
Great.
Right.
Alrighty, any questions?
How long will our trip take?
Well, I can see here in our manifest that we are taking you to Wilwood. Okay, well, that's probably only going to be about 2 or 3 hours, and then I've got instructions to wait around and bring you back again.
Oh, very good.
It shouldn't take too long, though. Well, hopefully.
Well, we're cleared to stay overnight if you needed the extra time, and we've been given a small bonus if we do have to, so I'm not worried. As I said, we really need the money.
I'm sure you do.
Now, did anyone want to know any interesting facts about Oxenfurt? As the ship is now right above the airship docks, you watch as the sails open up. There's the sound of like jarring metal from the back of the boat, and then the ship immediately begins to move forwards, narrowly having to move to the side a little bit as a much larger merchant vessel, which was clearly there the whole time and someone just hadn't seen, it starts to slowly head back down to land. The boat has to narrowly move to the side to get out of the way, your little sky skipper, before righting itself, and you carry on through the brisk, clear morning air.
Actually, yeah, with Oxenfurt, like, I mean, I've spent like a fair amount of time here, but would you say that there's anything new that maybe you've seen from your trips, from your top-down perspective that you get of Oxenfurt? Like anything new out of the ordinary, possibly related to various flighted bird-like races? I don't know, just things that you don't see from the ground,
Yeah, I mean, I can take you through some of the latest constructions. There's obviously the memorial gardens to those who were lost during the incursion that occurred from the demonic realms a few months prior. I know they're working on a statue of Lord Neverember, one of the councilmen who tragically lost his life in the city of Palin during that incursion. But there'll be other names as well, not just his. I mean, I know his family have paid for most of the gardens, and he's going to get a big statue. But like, there'll be other names there as well. It'll be a nice place to reflect upon those who tragically lost their lives during that event. And if you look over towards the left-hand side, just down there, you can see at the edge of the craftsman's burrow that is currently under construction. And as you look over the side to where she's pointing, you can see a large part of what looks like a very old, maybe overgrown section of parkland is currently a hive of activity. Many, many people moving around, clearing away, putting up new walls, new fences, and in the very center, an enormous statue of what presumably is Lord Neverember is being constructed. Lyra, you remember... Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, Matt, you...
I was going to ask, being an Owlin, and sort of like following on with what Lyra has just said, Niles would say, well, actually, Niles probably wouldn't say it. Niles would be looking for something more Owlin specific, or maybe more Eris or related to what he would maybe, if he was putting himself in the place of one of his brethren, what they might be looking for. If there's anything specific to the Eris theocracy that's propped up bird's eye view from this point.
The first thing that you notice, Niles, as you look over the edge is right below you as the airship takes off. The Messenger Guild tower is located just next to the airship docks. It's right there. Yeah. You did walk past it on your way to the airship docks. As you're on top of the boat now, could you make me a perception check?
Absolutely.
I'm going to say, given that you've had a chance to kind of look at this on the way, on the boat, now up above, you would have advantage on this.
Ooh. Okay.
I was going to say, Lyra, you know what happened with Lord Neverember. You know,
she met him at the council and then knew what happened last.
Yeah, and that there was quite a bit of evidence he was actually helping fund some of the cultists toward the end there, and it looks like he was in Palin trying to meet with them when shit went down, and he just was unlucky and got caught in the crossfire. That's a natural 20 from Niles. 17 and
from the
20.
advantage. That's great.
Niles, as you look down towards the city falling away below you, the Messenger Guild tower, it's impossible to spot from the ground. But the two top floors of the tower, normally these would be launching pads for those who have to go on really long flights. Aarakocra or Owlin who need to get up high as quickly as possible. At the very, very top, you know there is a artificial construct that generates a very, very strong updraft from the top of the tower to allow Aarakocra and Owlin to just basically get into a thermal and rise straight up above the tower. It's one of the easiest ways to ascend. Obviously, you don't want to have your messengers wasting time flapping their wings when it's much easier to just generate a thermal on top of the tower. That section, those two top floors, and where the thermal generator are located, the thermal generator has been expanded to a much larger degree. It's much bigger than it normally is. You can see that there's been a lot of effort to essentially add in these outer layers of this large magic circle, a series of interconnected joins of metal and piping, all with large rubies at different points in the very center. This has been expanded much more than you would have seen any other time you've been in here. It looks like there's an effort here to create a much stronger, much more rapid thermal ascension. And indeed, as you're watching, you see as a pelican Aarakocra, massive messenger bag strapped to it, more messages in the shape of like leather tubes stuffed into its bill, bulging in its throat sack as it takes off. You watch as it steps onto the platform, opens its wings, and ascends rapidly, much, much faster and much higher than should be possible with what you've seen before. And as the pelican reaches the top of this arc and opens its wings, you see it immediately take off at this rapid downward trajectory using gravity and that wind speed, that momentum to suddenly, to take off very, very quickly, moving far more rapidly than normal. In addition, those two top floors, which were originally landing pads, the second floor, that second top floor, there's no landing pads, there's no open doors. In fact, the whole area has been sealed up. It looks like all of the open windows, all of the platforms, the 4 cardinal platforms, north, south, east, and west, have been sealed up and turned into walls. The whole thing has been, looks like it's been retrofitted to create an entirely sealed floor. There are no windows providing access or view in. There's in fact nothing at all allowing view in from the outside. But with a natural 20 and a total of 26, you do catch a glimpse. Not of anything inside that room, but through an open window from the floor above. Just for a moment, the airship is just at the right level to give you that access down as you look through this gap in the window. And from the floor above looking down, you can see what looks like a trapdoor that has been set up to the floor below. And right as you pass by, you watch as a dark feathered hand reaches up and closes the trapdoor behind. You also spy, with the 26, high above you, tiny speck in the sky, hidden behind the clouds. It is just sheer luck that you roll your eyes at this moment as you go, oh fuck, and look up and just catch this tiny speck drop back into another cloud bank and disappear once again.
Interesting. Is it speck moving sort of parallel with this? Oh, okay, good to know.
The speck is absolutely tracking parallel with you.
Right. Cool.
Sorry about that.
That's great. That's great. Cool.
I just saw your message in the chat, Dave. Yes, I said swollen behemoth of a ship. Amazing. I love that you enjoyed that. I enjoyed that. I'm pleased. What would the rest of you be doing during this first portion? Oh, yeah?
I would immediately, because I don't have the messenger tattoo to link back to anyone. Yeah. Because how does that work again? If they talk to me, can I talk back to them?
Yep. Yeah, it creates a telepathic link. As soon as they create the link with you, you can both communicate telepathically through the link.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
so I can talk to Bart. Okay, sweet.
It's like a more advanced version of a sending stone. It's genuinely like you form. Yeah, I mean the specific wording is you form a telepathic link with a creature within range. As long as you stay within range, you have that link. It ends when you choose to end it, or they go out of range. So
in that case, I shoot back a telepathic message to Bart and just say, looks like we're being followed out of the city by our friends. And I kind of glance up at the sky again.
Well, will they keep up with the ship? I don't know how fast this vessel's going to go. It looks pretty slow.
I would assume
it's not moving fast.
Judging by how fast we're going, I'm like, I think they will have no problems keeping up with us. Okay. It also appears
to let them know that we're aware, but it may be worth keeping an eye every so often just to see if they continue watching us.
Will do. Also, the messenger tower is looking a little odd. It looks like they've retrofitted it out with some sort of extra thermals, and they've sealed up the tower. Usually that would be open for landing pads for the Aarakocra, but it looks like they've sealed it up. That can't be good.
Indeed.
Something to keep in mind.
Actually, even Niles, this must be recent, because as you're watching, you see a what looks like maybe like a hawk eagle Aarakocra coming into land and having to deviate down to a lower landing pad, looking really, really confused why the normal landing pad on that second top floor isn't open, looking sort of around a bit confused, flapping in place before dropping down a level and sort of walking back in going, the fuck? Looking around.
So clearly this could be an adverse effect of Ember's visitation.
Well, either that, or could be something to do with the Eris, if they're aware of our presence. Well, your presence in the city. That could be some sort of observation platform, staging ground, outpost, perhaps.
That's what I was actually thinking. Outpost. I think it might be prudent of us to, in a second town or village, if we get the chance, where we can see another one of these messaging headquarters, to see if they're doing the same there. If they're setting up small little hidden cells across Oshia, maybe all of Nostea, that's a first stage.
That's what I'm afraid of, but I think you might be right in your assumption there. I think the next closest city would be Palin, but
definitely the next biggest. Yeah.
Might be a little out of the way, but I'm sure we could persuade this lovely crew to let us travel there.
Yeah. Could be
Not a
possible.
bad idea just to quickly stop by. We don't need to stop in Pale and just at least see that is or is not happening. Will give us a lot of information if this is exclusive to Oxenfurt or not.
Precisely. I mean, I do know that Ember has his business that he has to attend to, which is fair enough, but...
Somewhere along the way, then, if we visit his family, that would work.
Sure. Sounds good.
Ember sort of looks around and goes, the Ash Grove's a little bit further south than where we're headed. It's down along the coast between here and Dromethion, the elemental states, a bit further south. We're looking...
To help that make sense, I will go up to Ember and ask him where his family's located, because obviously this conversation was mental.
Oh, true. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. As you guys have that talk, in that case, then maybe Ember's chatting. Ember's chatting with the captain. He would actually. He'd ask me have you heard any news about anything happening over the Ash Grove? Can we see it from here? How close are we going to be? I think Ember would be asking questions about it. So as you overhear him sort of talking this through.
I just want to clarify that, because I don't want other people hearing
the
shit that we're talking about.
No.
Yeah.
In that case, then Ember sort of chats to the captain, and he's sort of describing the Ash Grove, and she's like, I've not heard of the Ash Grove before. He's like, oh, it's down near Eblin, just south of Lost Alley. Oh, yeah. Okay. It's a bit further than where we normally go. I don't know if we can take ourselves down there right this time. We've got another booking. We're going to be back in Oxenfurt 4 in a couple of days. Probably a bit too far to go on this one, but we can get you close to another outpost if you want to catch another ship heading south. See if there's any merchant vessels, occasionally transport barges travel along the coast. Otherwise, we can get you to a coastal ship, get you to a coastal port. Probably Eidgard is the closest, and you can jump on a Maloran Orc ship and they'll take you down south if you're looking to get there pretty quickly. Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you. As Ember then heads back and looks around a bit. Yeah, looking a bit distracted, looking a bit, not looking very happy. I'm going to say, for the purposes of ease, Threin's actually staying back at the guild for this.
Yep.
Cool. There you go. Now I don't have to deal with an extra character. Perfect.
That's fine.
Lyra and Harry, while the birds are talking about the problem that they're experiencing with other birds, what do you do?
Probably completely oblivious to the conversation that's sort of going on about, everything. It's probably sort of planning out sort of what she remembers from the Flesh Sculptor, things that he seemed to sort of react well to versus sort of from what she sort of remembered and what Shana had sort of told her, things that maybe he didn't react to as well. And just sort of trying to come up with a plan of attack. She's like, okay, not going in this blind without a plan. It's hopefully not just going to walk up to the door and just go knock knock.
The last time you guys went there, he was in Dromethion, a town just outside of Dromethion. This has moved. This location is different to where it was last time. This is much further north. And more importantly, the last time you went to go visit him, a group of cultist assassins attacked you guys right outside where he was set up, which is what led to that confrontation with the cultists and the dragon. Right. You were ambushed, because you guys were kind of investigating the Ganassi of Dromethion a little bit. There were some concerns that maybe there was something going on with them you weren't quite sure of. You guys didn't end up investigating that, so I've saved that plot point for a future time whenever you guys want to pick up on that. Leads nicely into an elemental evil thread. But this is different. So Wilwood you've never really been to before. This isn't a town you guys have gone to. The furthest south that you've been is Green Nest, which is where you guys first went for Tyranny of Dragons, which is further south than Wilwood. But you kind of you guys went straight through Wilwood last time. I think you didn't even stop the night. You just stayed in your caravan. I was like, oh, there's a small town. You're like, we don't care. Carry on. Kept going to Green Nest. So this will be the first time heading to Wilwood. Did you want to know facts? Were you chatting to the Sky Captain a bit, to Luce?
Yeah, I think just sort of on a similar sort of train to the others, sort of looking out for Aarakocra sort of based things. It's sort of anything that you would know only from the view from the sky that us ground walkers sort of wouldn't really be sort of aware of. Anything new, different, unusual, outside of the usual trivia sort of facts and history.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the new gardens and memorial gardens being put in place, that's probably the easiest one to spot from the sky. That's the one that I've sort of had the most view of as we go over, the most obvious one for sure.
Maybe
I
outside
guess-
of Oxenfurt, you know, and the
Yeah.
travels even surrounding, you know?
I mean, Posted's been going through a pretty rapid expansion. They've moved a whole bunch of the training grounds, the barracks for the Oxenfurt Guard. They've moved them out to Posted, and so there's been like a big expansion of that like military presence there. I mean, part of that's because of the death of Lord Neverember. He kind of like ran a lot of those, and so now his I guess replacement has been much more focused on keeping the military outside of the city. There was this whole thing a couple of weeks ago about like the idea of like idle soldiers in a city never leads to good things happening. So they've like moved them out of the city onto this small town. And so part of me is like, but doesn't that still apply to the small town? I don't know. But it does seem like they're doing a lot of expansion there. Been some barracks set up. And, I mean,
You know whose idea it was to move the garrisons and everything outside of the city?
no, I don't know. It just sort of
A new
happened.
council member, or? I mean,
There's 3 new council members, probably one of them.
And I'm making a mental note to ask Mira about this later, because I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh, this could be a thing.
Yeah, apart from that, I don't really know if there's much else going on. There's a big expansion for the air docks planned, but that hasn't started yet. They're going to add a couple of extra like stories up. Plan is to have it be like a multi-height thing so that smaller boats will come in this like entryway down along the city walls, and they'll have like lower decks. And then the big merchant ships, to save on fuel and stuff, they're going to keep them up in the air. And there's this whole like, I don't know what the story is, but there's these like gnome artificers who've come forward, who claim to have been like created this incredible like transportation thing, calling it an elevator that like moves things up and down of various heights. They're using like this rotating interlocking mechanism. It looks pretty cool from what I've heard. And I mean, we know about that because we're going to have to change our flight plans a little bit. And signage is going to be a real problem because like at the moment, right, our little dock that we've got, we can have a big sign over the top, but we're not going to be able to have that sign there anymore. So, I mean, personally, I'm worried we're going to be out of business pretty soon with this one.
Well, do you have your company name printed on the bottom of the ship? I mean, you're doing tours, and so generally you're flying lower, right?
This is the first time that I've taken this ship out in a week and a half. We are ostensibly doing tours. Actually, what we're doing is racking up docking fees and slowly losing our company.
Can I ask a weird question?
Yeah, go for it.
How did you guys get founded? I mean, it's you're sort of saying that business isn't so good, but I mean, there must have been a need for you guys to want to make a tour company in the first place. And
Do you want to know the real story? Like I can tell you what I've been told to share about like the founding of our company, but do you want to know the real deal? Like you guys aren't tourists. I'm happy for you guys to pay for like rapid transportation whenever you need. We could be a taxi service. I'm happy with that because that's money in the bank. And your guild paid really well. Can I just say, really, really well. You guys are great. Spite. Our founder, he was kicked out of one of the merchant guilds, and so he funded this as a way to like illegally smuggle stuff in smaller ships. Most of these ships were stolen. Yeah.
I feel like a taxi service would probably work better then. I mean, wouldn't it be easier to ferry stolen goods? Can I glance over at Harry at that and be like,
pretty confident this is a tax write-off. This entire business is a tax write-off. Because it's never been successful. Like, think about it. Most tourists to Oxenfurt can't afford to pay for a chartered airship, and those that can don't pay for our chartered airship, right?
What is the range of this ship? Like, or potentially the ships within, like, sort of speed, range? Theoretically speaking, if maybe we needed to move some stuff out on the lowdown, on the other business angle that the company is.
You watch as she looks around a little bit and then leans in a bit closer. I'm not officially part of that business because that business doesn't officially exist. But if you did need a fence to like...
Unofficially, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unofficially. My cut's 10% and I can get it as far east as Palin. I can even get you over to some of the Shattered Isles if you need. Depending on how the weather's looking and what the currents are doing. The air currents.
All right. I will be keeping it in mind, and I know you mentioned that it's a tax write-off, but it could be that it's more of a front, and just having the ships there is. We haven't really been doing much smuggling with these ships for like 6 months or so. Like originally, that we were doing shitloads of business, but then it went so well. He bought into some like larger
conglomeration of stuff, and now he just smuggles stuff on the big airships, and now our entire tourist thing is just like small shitty jobs.
Just out of like Lyra's just desire to sort of help people. It's like she's like, you know, she wants to solve problems for people. Can she sort of like look over and maybe even drag Harry over? She's like, hey, I'm not part of this cough cough, but
Wow, outing Harry straight away to an NPC. Yikes.
Not outing him, but it's, you know, potentially if maybe you know some people that maybe need some stuff moved on the down low. I mean, you know, we get lots of stuff on the down low in the in the Underdark.
Yeah, but you also need guests on the ship to, you know, to be subtle about it. If you're flying around an empty tour ship, it's pretty obvious what you're moving around. So either you pay people to pretend to be guests, or you find guests.
Harry, what's your passive perception?
Company.
I think it's decently high.
I think
17.
I was going to say, from memory, it's
Wow.
17. Harry,
That's good.
this is the first time you sort of moved a bit closer to Luz, and you hadn't really paid much attention to her. In fact, you specifically said you were ignoring her safety briefing. As you are forced to pay more attention to her as you step up and look.
Harry's off to the side clipping his nails before.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which is rabbit nails. It's a decent each time as you watch a tiny little missile fly down.
He's just touching him off the side of the ship.
Yeah.
Well, at least you only have like one paw to do.
He's got his
He
feet
took
too.
his shoes off. And,
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Fucking knew that was coming.
Yeah.
Harry. Luz has a really, really cool, interesting necklace around her neck. It's a series of interlocking beads with little feathers and things. But the symbol in the very center, it's not a religious one. You recognize it. It's a written thieves' cant symbol.
That's cool.
It's made up to look like a holy symbol, but it's not. You know exactly what it is as soon as you see it.
Yeah. So how long have you been in the tour business then? You personally?
Me personally, I've been captain of this ship for like 3 years now. But it's my first time touring.
Harry?
Yeah.
Harry would like to
Yeah.
mix small talk,
Yeah. And mix in a bit of
but
thieves'
ask
cant.
the question. Yes.
Yeah.
Saying, are you scamming us? Are you?
Two-timing us.
Yeah. Are we? Yeah. Are you scamming us?
So like as you're kind of asking, you're like, yeah, like weather looks really good, and then you kind of mix in a little bit of like, and that cloud, it almost looks like a double back at some point. You got to, you don't want to have a double back cloud come over, and it's like you're trying to mix in some of the thieves' cant words to like indicate, are you fucking two-timing us?
Yeah.
You watch as for a moment her composure slips. You watch that smile that's been in her face this whole time falter for a moment before it's back a second later as she smiles and goes like, that cloud up there? Nah. It's a straight lace. No dramas at all. Yeah, it's just, you don't need to worry about that. Weather will be clear. Skies will be fine. And it'll be smooth sailing from here on out, hey? Hey,
Yeah,
do you know what? You look like you would be interested in the engineering bay. Do you want to come have a little peek? I mean, I notice your arm looks like it's been well engineered.
Yeah, sure, why not?
We'll be right back, love.
Lyra,
We'll see you in a tick.
yeah,
She smiles at you, Lyra.
I'll be back in 10 minutes, and if there's any issues, then maybe you guys should.
Harry's
check
off
out the
for a
engineering
quickie.
yourself.
Hey, my boy, what are you doing?
Harry the horn dog. Harry the horn bun? No, I don't like this. We're not.
Now loose.
I know.
Yeah.
right?
With
a rogue
Luce
this
as
time,
well.
not bad.
Yeah, I did name her that.
that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that the nickname Luz would be very literal very quickly. As Cumulus, as Luce. I guess there's another nickname I could have done with her name. It would have been worse. As Luce leads you down, God, Ali. As Luce leads you down towards the engineering bay, she stops right outside the door. Harry turns towards you, and you can see her whole demeanor changes. That big, performative, happy-go-lucky face is gone as she turns around and goes, "All right, you little shit. What's going on? Huh? I've paid my dues. I'm up to date. What's going on? Are you one of the enforcers?
Oh, yeah. Oh no, I'm actually just happenstance, and I noticed your necklace, and I just wanted to make sure that me and my friends weren't about to get into any trouble from the goings-ons of your company at the moment on the way here.
You stay on the top deck, and there'll be no trouble at all.
Oh, so is that good stuff down here? Is there?
Well, yeah, it's the first time we've had passengers, and as you so eloquently pointed out before, thanks for opening the entire fucking business model, by the way, it's really suspicious when a tourist ship goes flying around with no one on the fucking deck.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know.
Yeah.
My friend Niles, the Owlin on the top right, he makes really good business cards. So if you are looking for more business, like I'd recommend advertising, because and having harder to beat prices.
Look, you might know Thieves Guild symbols, you might know a bit of the lingo, but like, I don't know you from a block of cheese, mate. What the hell's going on here? You think you can come in here and try and scout my business?
Yeah, no, not really. We're just going to where we're going, and Lyra wanted me to help out, so I'm just trying to give you some advice, mate.
But hang on. I thought this was some sort of like trying to. It sounded like you were trying to like do like a bit of a hard sell, trying to get me involved with whatever you lot are doing.
No, it sounded like you were trying to get us involved with what you lot are doing.
Oh, there's been a huge misunderstanding. No, I just want to make sure. I just need as many of you on the top deck as possible, so that if any of the like various law enforcement around this part come close, I can just say, yeah, no, we're taking a tourist boat, and if you guys can look around and be all wowed and amazed at all the amazing sights I've showed you, that'd be great.
Yeah, no, I just appreciate a good job when I see one. And Harry goes up for a fist bump.
Still a bit suspicious of you, having immediately like jumped into Thieves' Can on the top deck of a ship. She like gives you a little fist bump and then goes, "It's none of my business. Are you pulling some shit on these scalps up top? Because like they didn't seem to recognize what we were saying. Are they marks right now?"
Oh no, they just. I mean, I'm not really doing Thieves Guild stuff at the moment, so I'm just part of the party, and I just happened to notice your necklace, and I was looking out for the team. So they're my friends.
You watch as she looks down, turns it to the other side where it legitimately shows the holy symbol. She's like, I should have kept that. I need to make sure I keep that flipped. It's just sometimes when you need to know who's in the business and who's not. So like, yeah, okay, all right. Well, yeah. Are we gonna have a problem, or are we okay? I just want to be sure.
No problem. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't going to have a problem.
No problem.
Advise, not having a necklace that can easily flip. I mean, you never know.
No, I left it on from this morning. I was meeting with a contact. They needed to recognize to come load the stuff on the deck of the ship. I tried some. I tell you what, it's good fucking shit. Sometimes I need it to get through the day with some of the tourists that we take on. You have no clue.
I can only imagine. I've met people before in people are the worst.
Yeah. I might need a top up. Did you want some as well? Just a little bit.
No, I've been clean for a bit, so I best not.
All right, suit yourself. All right, I'll be back in a minute.
Yeah, have fun. Harry hops right up.
As soon as you get back onto the deck of the ship, Lyra, you're like looking around. Very quickie, if that's what that was.
I mean, I guess maybe it's a Harrengon. I don't know. I don't want to assume.
What does that mean?
He went off with Inkspread. Like, he's now gone off with Blues. Like,
when Harrengon's reach a certain age, they're like, we got to repopulate, and then they do.
Apparently, they go all Elon Musk and start looking for a way to generate like an army of children.
Oh.
And then maybe they're really
from 4 months old. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like all fascists. So as you rejoin your crew on the deck of the ship, Harry, Lyra's kind of looking at you like a bit confused as you sort of hop back over.
He was a mighty fine engine. And Harry just goes back to being nonchalant and clipping his nails.
The other foot comes up on the deck of the ship as Harry gets his nail trimmer out. Yeah. 2 or 3 minutes later, you watch as runs up the deck of the ship, bounding with energy. She gets just like, who's ready for some facts? She runs to the front of the ship back towards you, Lyra. You can see there's like a little bit of like blue dust underneath her nose.
Just on the down low, she might just tap her on the shoulder instead of be like, like little bit left.
Oh, I've had a nosebleed for a bit.
Nosebleed, yeah.
Yeah, Aganassi, we bleed blue.
And powdery.
When it dries, yeah.
I really don't care. It's all good.
So, who wants some facts? As she looks around, trying to like get things back on track.
Gonna find
I would
somewhere
like
to sit back near the old man at the engine.
Yeah.
I would like some facts, please.
Great. And with that, she begins to rattle off a list of things which, Niles, even you, without having been in this area before, know are complete bullshit. She's just making this stuff off the top of her head. She's like, over to your left, you'll see a house that burned down long ago, belonged to a rich duke who made a boy out of wood. And the boy got really fed up one day and set the whole place on fire, and he burned to death. It's really sad. You can still hear their screams when the fires burn in the hearth once again.
I'm going to go now. Goodbye.
Perfect. But as you sit down at the back of the ship towards the bridge, behind you can see the engineer, the older engineer, and the younger work experience kid ticking away, getting things running. At this point in the trip, it's pretty much just checking on a few gauges, making sure things are running well. The old man at this point has taken a bit of a seat down. You can see him pull out a rag and begin to wipe some sweat off his face as he tucks it back in, tapping on one of the dials in front of him before turning back to the kid, giving a few more very grunted directions.
Left one, right one, up, good. Yeah, watch that dial. Good.
And then he takes a seat back.
Bart is
pulling
just
out a
going
drink bottle.
to play some music on the harp, not only for the people on the ship, like all of my compatriots, but specifically, we've got 2 hours. So wanting to try to cheer up the spirits of those working, I'm just going to start the process of inspiring leader and musician with a bit of a song on the ship, and try to give those 3 bits of inspiration to the 3 crew, the daughter, the son, and the father.
Perfect. Nice. Oh, Luz, you don't think she's related to them? Aganassi.
Oh, okay. So it's 2 elves and then an Aganassi.
Yeah, it looks like a half elf, a human, and then the Aganassi. So you suspect the human and half elf are related. The human dad, maybe elf mother, and then the Aganassi, Luz. She's a loose cannon. You don't know how she fits in with this dynamic, apart from her being in charge. As you play the music, which the old man kind of grunts, nods, gives you a bit of a look, touches his forelock at you, Bart, and then sort of sits back and enjoys the music, just letting it wash over him as he closes his eyes and leans back into his seat a little bit. Alrighty. For the next 2.5 hours... Yes, Dave.
What genre of music is it?
Good question.
Well, it's from the Theocracy, so I'd like to think that it's very much like Tibetan ceremonial, like very slow, long chords.
I got this. Here we go. I'll just bring across the Avatar Legends playlist. I've got a whole bunch of Eastern-inspired tracks for that, so that's easy.
A slow tune that's very much I would say like a Asian, and obviously on a harp being like a chord song of some kind.
Harry will do an interpretive dance as you play.
Oh, can I get 2 performance checks, please?
Any advantage?
No.
Okay, that's what the ask.
21.
Is that what you were imagining?
Oh, 13. Damn.
That's pretty good.
21 and 13. Okay. Christian, you're playing...
this is what I'm imagining, 100%.
Perfect. But your playing is exquisite. This is an easy song. You know it very, very well. It's not technically complex. It's all about this sort of flowing, gentle rhythm, sort of moving almost like water running over stones is how your instructor sort of taught you how to feel this music and to go with the timing. And it's easy, it's simple, but it sounds really, really beautiful. And in that sort of weird silence of the airship, because all wind is locked around that air cage, it's eerily silent on the deck of the ship. There's no of wind rushing through the sails or anything like that. The sails extend outside of this bubble, and so inside it's very eerily quiet. the music replaces that eerie quiet with this gorgeous melody as Harry sort of dances around a little bit. Harry, you watch as Flicker emerges, moving in this sort of fluid motion, like a shadow, almost like a second shadow, darting around you as he spirals around your form before going back inside your hand, emerging again as you flourish. It's pretty passable, Harry, for a Harrengon courtship dance. This would be very attractive if there were any other female Harrengon here or male Harrengon to witness this.
Can I finish it off
with a happy ending? Yes.
With a bonus action rabbit hop, which launches me 15 feet in the air and finishes landing in the splits.
We did talk about the air shield multiple times, Harry. As you do, your
15 meters. 15 feet is like 3 meters. How tall is this? Like, I'm no higher than the sails.
You're about to. The sails are to the side of the ship.
Well, I'm like a tugboat, bro.
Here's what happens, Harry. As you finish, this is so fucking perfect. As you finish your dance, Harry, you leap into the air. As you do, you watch as suddenly the eyes of Luz go wide as she watches you like jump and keep going. You see this sort of like big smile on her face before she goes, looking up. As you rise up, Harry, you suddenly feel your ears snap back, and a moment later, your head collides with this incredibly fast-moving wind. To those of you on the deck of the airship, you watch as Harry leaps up and then immediately tumbles over in a somersault as his head breaches the wind wall, and the whiplash sends him tumbling backwards.
Oh.
Can I try to assist with a reaction? Because obviously reactions can be done sort of instantaneous. Using him as a projectile that was trying to attack the wind, can I interception the wind? And you know how you can block an attack? I want to like quickly flip my sword and intercept Harry.
Cut him in half perfectly, like Fruit Ninja.
Character Dave.
And you watch as Harry lands on the deck of the ship. You slowly sheath the Kadachi, and then Harry just splits into two perfect pieces. I would say yes, but I'm going to need you to make me an athletics or an acrobatics check to try and intercept this.
Otherwise,
a 24 to slam him back to the deck.
As this happens, luckily, Bart, at the back of the boat, this is almost like a fast ball as you just whip up your sword still in its sheath and block Harry as he smashes into the hilt of your sword. As you slam him back down into the deck, Harry, can you make me an athletics or an acrobatics check as well? I just want to see how bad this is for you.
Check a saving throw.
Saving throw for you, please. Actually, dexterity saving throw. Yeah.
I get to add a d4 to it because I have lucky footwork.
Nice.
Oh, that's good.
24 plus a d4. This can only be good.
Yeah.
Watch it be a 20.
So he gets a +4 from being near me as well.
Oh, there you go. So that's 28 already. Roll that d4. Not that you need it. 30. Harry, instead of being slammed into the deck of the ship, as you are knocked back, you suddenly see Bart's sword, still sheathed, rise up in front of you, and as you grab onto it upside down, as Bart brings the sword down, you don't slam into the deck of the ship. As the hilt of his sword, the very top of that hilt, slams in, you're still clinging to it upside down, which is now the right way up as the front of the sword hits the deck of the ship, and you're just underneath his sword, clinging on, looking up at him as your little like rabbit feet clutch on. You're stunned a little bit. Your head's kind of like that sudden kickback as the wind hit your head definitely dazed you a bit. But you're not dead.
Please be more careful, Harry.
Niles claps. Marvelous performance. Did you?
Yeah,
have
true.
You been working on that?
True.
Oh,
Probably looked with those saving throws. It looked pretty fucking polished, actually.
That was wonderful. Such disregard for the rules, Harry. My goodness. And then, Bart, you were so quick on your feet. I didn't even have time to react, and you'd already had him on the ground. My goodness.
Luce, you should have seen the look on your face.
Yeah. Yep. Pretty funny. As she looks over at you.
Yep. Thinking back to the Featherfall tokens and Luce's expression of what seems to be abject fear.
Yes. Would you like to make an insight check?
On actually Featherfall token. Like,
that's a great question.
That's a really good question. Yeah.
16. Lyra, there's no fucking way these are real.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Her fear, she should not have been afraid for Harry. The worst that could happen to him is that he would have blown off, activated his Featherfall token, the ship could have come around and picked him up. He would have been falling pretty slowly. She, in that moment, she was petrified. More so than would be necessary. There's even more to it that you're not sure. It's not for Harry's life. She's scared of something else.
Can I sort of come up behind her and just sort of like over the back of the shoulder and just sort of be like,
what the fuck? Sorry, I missed what you said when you snuck up behind me. Yeah?
Yeah, well, you snuck these on our wrists, and now I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, Featherfall tokens. Pretty standard safety practice when you're on the deck of a ship. Can't have you fall it off.
Well, I mean, they're clearly not. You don't need to bullshit me.
Whoa. When I purchased these, I was told they are the finest. Are you telling me that I was ripped off?
Yeah, probably, but why does a tourist ship such as yourself need Featherfall tokens for insurance purpose? I mean, wouldn't that just be like, more red tape? Other ships don't need the Featherfall tokens, so it's... Are these going to actively harm us, or is it something else on the ship that is going to actively harm us other than falling off said ship?
No, it's just stone in the shape of a feather. It's not going to do anything. It's not magical in any way, shape, or form. It's just there so that...
Insight?
Yeah, you can
insight that.
Yeah,
Make sure it's not like a slave collar or anything.
Slave collar? What the fuck?
I think it's something that's going to fuck with the stones. Like...
I mean, to be fair, we went through a whole ordeal with slave collars on...
To be fair, you know what, that is true. But that was the Dwergar! Yeah. I wouldn't do that twice in a row for 2 different arcs. Come on, give me some credit. Give me some credit.
Yeah, fair.
It's going to be some more original ideas than just like, you enter surface slave collars. These ones are bracelets.
Wow.
These are definitely... She's telling the truth, Harry. They're not enchanted. It's just a stone. Like, for a start, you've seen Featherfall tokens before. They're metallic discs made of metal. They have to be for the Electrum to be able to contact. This whole thing from the very beginning makes no sense that they were just stone on leather. That's always been bullshit. They're not enchanted. They're literally just someone has carved a piece of rock into the shape of a feather and tied it onto a leather bracelet, a leather bangle.
But, Luce, see, you know that 2 of our members of the ship are Owlin. And, say Harry, wasn't caught and he did go flying somewhere off the ship, we would have been able to sort of probably catch him, but the amount of fear you just had on your face, man, that was more than a passenger flying off the ship kind of level.
I take the safety of my passengers very seriously, I'd like you to know. Very seriously indeed. I mean, not seriously enough to provide real Featherfall tokens, but seriously enough. Hence my fear.
Come on.
Make me a persuasion check.
Is Niles able to hear all of this?
Yeah, this is all happening out in the open. It's not a big boat.
Okay.
It's pretty small.
Yeah, so I know that it's not a legitimate boat, and cool.
Unless there's someone else over my shoulder applying additional pressure.
I don't know. It sounds like you're on your own, baby.
Oh my god.
Niles will probably stride over and be like,
14.
Kind of like his head a little bit.
That's 0. That's not bad.
14's not bad. You watch as she kind of pauses for a bit and goes like,
But we're paying either way, and we're not going to dob you in.
Yeah, all right. I get the message. Look, here's the situation. Man overboard, woman overboard. Serious situation. The kid, the old man, they don't know what we're doing. If they saw someone go over the deck of the ship, they'd report it straight away. There's other cargo that we're transporting. I can't have the authorities come and investigate, yeah? Your friend knows about it.
Fair.
The rabbit, he knows all about it.
I mean, I think we've pieced enough together, but the old man and the kid, they also don't have... Do they have these fake Featherfall bracelets on as well and believe that it will save them if they fell overboard?
No, the old man... Nah, the old man brought his own. He wasn't going to let his grandson get into any trouble. They've got their own ones. No, for real. I'm not. He brought his own. I offered him one of these ones and he literally laughed in my face, broke it in half, handed it back and said it wasn't worth the stone it had been carved on. So, there was no chance I was going to get that one over him. Plus, I need him to fly the ship. So, like, I haven't really. I need him alive.
It's in your
I can't
interest
fly
to keep
this.
him alive.
Yeah, I can't fly this.
That's fair.
Yeah. No, if someone goes overboard, it's a whole thing. Gets reported in. Authorities come and like. I really can't have this ship be searched. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Like, legit. Like, as long as you're not doing anything that like really fucking hurts people, like. We're not really the right party to, be cracking down on stuff like that. But...
I'm just opposed to the ridiculous taxes and tariffs that are placed on humble merchants in Oxenfurt by the lords who control way too much wealth. No, it's all just harmless stuff. I just don't want to have to pay the lords any more money than they already get. Like, those rich bastards have enough, yeah?
Yeah, no,
yeah, fuck them. Fuck them.
Like, yeah.
Well, while we're having these chats, though, you wouldn't happen to have done much dealings with Owlin recently?
Nah, we don't transport any stuff for the birds. They've got their own networks in place. They've got a whole contract with the Merchants Guild. They get first pick of most of the decks of the large ships. It's a reciprocal arrangement, they call it.
No.
Any ships in particular or companies?
Well, the Oxenfurt Merchant Guild. They've got a pretty big holdings. It's a joint partnership with the Messenger Guild. I know at least two of the major Palin players. Two of the lords there have got major holdings with the heiress. So, yeah, fair for you. Pretty big business.
It seems like that market is well cornered then.
Yeah, that one is. Yeah.
There's two lords, like, it's just because, we're also sort of somewhat tied in with sort of all that, and they actually might be able to help us out a little bit. You wouldn't happen to know the names of those two lords, would you? Like,
yeah, I know one of them.
At a time.
Yeah, and I know one of them, Winterell, Lord Winterell. She's the matriarch of the Winterell family. Pretty powerful in Palin. She, actually, a bit goss, she picked up a lot of Lord Neverember's property in hostile takeovers following his death.
Now, this is a bit of a question, but how much do you actually know about Lord Neverember before his untimely to his
he was a greedy cunt. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
I know. If you're in the business, you know about his tastes. No thanks.
Yeah, Winterell, better, worse.
I'm going to be honest, I've not heard anything, which in our line of work is a bit of a red flag. Yeah, you can't keep things that silent unless you've got some real dirty laundry, yeah?
Yeah.
When even the skeletons in your closet can't speak up, like,
yeah.
So the Winterfell, what was her last name? Winterell. Not a well-known family then? Have they been around the scene in a bit? Or?
They've always been a minor house, in the background, as it were. Always on the edge of stuff, and then Neverember carks it, and suddenly rising like the ashes, the phoenix from the ashes. Suddenly, Winterell's there, snapping up all of his shit.
I mean, there are lots of houses in Palin, and it seems strange that a minor house like that would be so well positioned to take over.
I don't know. The minor houses are hungrier than you lot give them credit for. They're the more dangerous ones. They're the ones you should be keeping an eye on. Especially if they were once a major house. No one wants it more and knows how hard the fall is than those who once had everything and have now lost it.
That's a good point.
Oh, anyone, I mean, say we're wanting to make connections, stuff that's not going to tread on your toes, don't want to sort of step on your business plan or anything, but say, would there be anyone that you would recommend avoiding or maybe could be worth cozying up to, sort of, between Palin, Oxenfurt, the major players around here?
You watch as she looks
Advice.
towards you, Harry, very sort of subtly, and raises a single eyebrow, as if kind of like looking to you to see if you're going to speak up at any point, or if she should take the lead on this.
Ooh, interesting.
It's very subtle. I have rolled a stealth check for her. If you guys wanted to do an insight check, you can see if you can see through it. I have rolled a stealth check.
Can I also do an insight check to see how many people notice the look?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to insight check that for sure. Ooh, that's not a great roll.
That's a 6 for Harry, 10 for Niles. Nah, Harry, your friends trust you and love you. 10 Niles.
18?
All good. 18 from Lyra. Lyra, she looks to Harry as if asking him a question before continuing.
Harry nods as if to say, go on.
Yeah. I mean, look, if you're looking for a ways in, you got to go speak to the Thieves Guild. I don't know if they'd speak to you. You got to have a contact on the inside, but if you're looking for pathways in, you got to go chat to the Thieves Guild. Yeah, the Thieves Guild exists. Oh my god, your world has been turned upside down.
Big shot.
Yeah.
Cool.
Talk to the Thieves Guild. If you want pathways in, chat to them. If you were to make your way over to the Merchant Bank of Oxenfurt and open a new account, you might be able to find someone to speak to.
Any particular words that could be used? I don't know. Surely just normal people are not going to approach them for just making a new account.
I hazard a guess if you lot all wandered in and asked to open a new account, you'd get where you need to go.
Yeah, we're not the most reputable looking bunch, are we?
I have a question.
Yeah.
This is just a in-game, general question.
For Owen.
So
hello.
Yeah, for Owen. Hello.
Hello. I'm here too.
Not for Liz. So there's obviously a distinction between obviously the Oxenfurt Halen sort of world, I suppose.
Yeah. They're all part of Oshia, but there's a lot of the major houses who hold power in Oxenfurt don't have as much power in Halen, for example, and vice versa. The reason being that Palin obviously was the capital, and a lot of these noble houses had a lot of power. They ruled over a lot of the major cities. Yeah. But then in the last sort of 30, 40 years, since the discovery of Lyra, that continent far towards the west, Oxenfurt has gone from this little merchant district to becoming a very powerful merchant city in its own right. And especially as the trade lines with the Malor and Orcs have renewed, a lot of the Obsidian Isles that were in a state of conflict have kind of pacified a bit. They're a lot more chilled out. Oxenfurt is suddenly in a prime position for trade along that entire western front of Oshia. So it's become immensely powerful. And the minor houses who kind of ruled instead underneath the major houses of Palin have, in the space of weeks and months, become richer and more powerful than some of their original leaseholders over in Palin. So there's currently a bit of a culture war going on between Oxenfurt and Palin.
Which, I mean, Niles would be aware of this.
Oh yeah, all of you would be aware of this. Background. This is very much common knowledge, and it's any who are residents of Oxenfurt, there is part of you most likely that has a bit of a loyalty to Oxenfurt over Palin. Imagine if you live in Brisbane, it's north versus south. If you're in Melbourne, it's east versus west. I'm sure we can find those examples everywhere in the world.
I suppose my question was more around, obviously. I guess Niles just wants to know, is the Thieves Guild, obviously coming from a mercantile background, he would
You've heard rumors. Yeah.
But operating in the Eris theocracy specifically.
Yeah. You have heard rumors of one arm of the Thieves Guild, particularly one of the major smuggling rings operating out of Eris. To the immense shame and chagrin of many of the leaders of Eris, including the Zishi, who has on many times made public denunciations of anyone associating with the Thieves Guild. Very public. And there have been, at times, clear show trials against people who have claimed to have been involved with the Eris Thieves Guild, as it's known. But, it's one of those things that's always been a bit whispered about. The Silverwind family, you might know a bit more. Can you give me a history check with advantage, please, Niles? But can I also please get one from you with advantage for a different side of this, from the Eris side? That's a natural 20 for a total of 19 from Niles.
I'm rolling well tonight, guys.
Okay, Niles, never mind. There's a lot more you're going to know about this. And that's a natural 1 from... Oh, no, it's not. Sorry. It's not a natural 1. I thought it was a natural 1 because it's in red, and I was like, oh my god.
It's red for some reason? Yeah.
10 from Bart. Okay, we'll do Bart's first. Yeah, Bart, not much more than that. You know your father has gone after the Thieves Guild. You've heard whispers of a group of Aarakocra and Owlin operating with the Thieves Guild. All of you know the Thieves Guild as this kind of rumored group, a conglomeration of individuals who come together and operate with this very strict code of morals. And they're always kind of whispered about. Whenever a crime is committed, it's whispered about whether this was the Thieves Guild or not. And they've got almost a bit of a mythology around them. This is it the Thieves Guild? Like, who was it? Who did this? Like, they play upon that mystery very clearly. Like, occasionally symbols will be left behind in locations, items that were incredibly valuable stolen with like a message left in code. It's become a bit of a pastime for some of the upper nobles to try and figure out who like the Thieves Guild are and leave traps for them and try and like catch them out stealing from them. It's a whole game of cat and mouse being played by a lot of the upper nobility, especially in Oxenfurt. But Bart, you know your father does not play those games. He has outright tried to exterminate them. You know for a fact they do exist within Eris. You would know that even with a 10, you know that they exist. Your father is absolutely livid at the thought of Owlin and Aarakocra working against him, working against the interests of Eris. And potentially having information and items being smuggled in or out of what should be, in his mind, a very closed ecosystem. Niles, you know that the Thieves Guild absolutely do exist. You also know that the Silverwind family have been helping to fund some of the Eris Thieves Guild for the last 20 years.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
And the Eris Thieves Guilds are primarily made up of members of the Silverwind family.
Oh.
me and Niles are like Romeo and Juliet.
Oh my! I was not expecting that because I'm like, oh, maybe we can use the Thieves Guild to help with the aristocracy.
This is a plot point I thought I was going to be introducing in like 20 episodes. But a natural 20.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to say that you once overheard. You were in the right place at the right time. You overheard a conversation going on between Titus and one of the members, and you stayed to the shadows, you listened, and you heard a lot more than you ever should have.
Shit. Yeah. Okay. Interesting.
What do I know about the
crazy
Thieves Guild?
information. Wow. All right.
Oh, fun.
Whoa.
Cool. Yeah. Was there anything else? I was trying to remember where we were up to before I started doing Lore Dump.
What does Harry know about the Thieves Guild?
Oh, yes. Sorry. What was your... Oh, what would you know about the Thieves Guilds? No. You don't as a member. No. I was more thinking about the Eris.
To be honest.
I was thinking more about the Eris Thieves Guild. What more would you know from the Thieves Guild? Not much. I mean,
network and
yeah. And you would know that there is smuggling that comes in and out of Eris for sure. Of course, there is smuggling in and out of everywhere.
Yeah, and honestly, I think Harry used the Thieves Guild more as a resource for information than
your relationship with the Thieves Guild and with Secret isn't quite the same as many of the other members. You guys have an understanding that is a bit different to the other members. You're a member of the Thieves Guild, but there's a separation there, and you're not actually expected to follow some of their more stringent rules, just like they are not expected to do certain things to assist you. It's a partnership. We've had a really cool NPC summon. I think we were talking about this behind the scenes a little bit for Ember to have a rival like in Pokemon. Jay has summoned Symphinia, which is a play on Cynthia from Pokemon, current champion of the Sea Druid Grove.
Ooh, great idea.
Because obviously there are druids of the sea, so yeah, I will bring in Symphinia. I'm going to play around with that a little bit. I think I like the pronunciation of Symphinia a little bit better, but we'll play around with Symphinia. We'll bring that in as soon as we can. Obviously, Simon has to be here for that.
Oh yeah.
But I'll add that to the NPCs and we'll have that in as soon as possible because that's really fun. And we had another NPC summoned a little bit ago that I haven't had a chance to bring in yet either, just because I'm waiting for the right time. It's a little bit of a joke NPC, and I don't want it to detract from some of the serious conversations we've been having, but I think I've got a good chance to bring that in pretty soon as well, actually. Alrighty. Was there anything else you guys wanted to do or talk about before we carry on?
Just one last question. It's hey, like the Winterall, the family name is pretty new to me. Long story, but you mentioned that they were a major house that had fallen and now want to be major again.
I don't really know if they were a major house. I was more sort of saying like as an example, like a major house that becomes a minor house. No one's more hungry to get back to the top than those who've already been there. I'm just saying like the ruthlessness that they've displayed, like that she's displayed, Matron Winterell. I just figured they must have been important players at some point in the past, right?
ruthlessness in the way of how? I mean, a hostile takeover is nothing new, so to speak. I mean, it would have to be like a
All right, you
really
didn't.
hostile takeover.
Yeah,
for, you know.
you didn't hear this from me.
Come on,
I
you
have-
didn't do anything. Code of
I've
silence,
I've
yada, yada, yada.
heard on the grapevine whispers that Lord Neverember's untimely demise in Palin wasn't as much of an accident as it looks. Let's just put it that way.
From what I remember, / from what Shana probably would have told Lyra, Neverember was one of the guys that it was just after we all had like our weapons and focuses taken, and he sort of walked in making demands, and he just got chopped, right?
Yeah.
Like that was him?
Yeah.
Not as much of an accident. I mean, the guy was an asshole, like that had his fingers in some pies and maybe got directly taken out. You're saying that he was
I heard
suggested.
I heard that there was, let's say, a deliberate effort to put him in harm's way. That where he was at the time was very specific, and he was there for a reason. Not one
Maybe
for
had
his own.
Specific ideas planting it in his head, maybe.
Exactly. And I mean, Winterell was one of the minor houses underneath Neverember. Trusted
I'm not sure if
confidant.
I should be surprised or if I should shake their hand, because, I mean, I'm not really sure if it was that much of a loss for the city. But,
No, I thought, no, he was a dick. Absolutely the worst, Neverember. Yeah.
But Winterell, not some Robin Hood kind of...
Well, again, no one has a past that squeaky clean unless they've gone to a lot of effort to erase shit, yeah? Like...
Or a lot of people really, really, really like them, which is unlikely.
Nah. There's dirt on everyone. Everyone's fucked up. Everyone's done something wrong. Everyone's got a skeleton or two in their closet. Now, sometimes it's not a full skeleton. Sometimes it's just a few finger bones, yeah? But
Any
Winterell?
hypothetical dirt on Winterell?
No,
Other than
there's
the Neverember stuff.
nothing. Trust me. I mean, I may have looked into her as a potential sponsor, but I got spooked off. There was nothing there. That's not okay. You don't get to the top of the heap without stepping on a lot of fucking bodies, and I couldn't find anything. It was too quiet on that front, yeah?
Like, not even like a pissed off maid or, someone used to
Nothing.
work, just nothing.
No personal connections. No one could tell me anything about her or her family from a personal perspective even. Like, come on. That's weird, right?
You know what her first name is?
No, couldn't even tell you.
No.
That's
An
impossible.
old family, Winterell?
Yeah, ostensibly. Old family, from what I hear. But I mean, I can't find any history of them.
Wait, any other family members?
I know she's
not written down.
Yeah, no, it's all written down, but like nothing about them. Just like in a list of names of minor families, or like there'll be something about like this family was requested and Winterell sent this. Like it's nothing. Other family members. She's got 2 daughters,
But no wider familial contacts, cousins, uncles. That seems rather strange. You don't posture and position yourself to take over another lord's land without at least leaving something.
Well, she's got people who are her favors, if you count that as family.
I have a sneaky
That kind of family.
It's possible that this person might have just, well, maybe they weren't really Winterell. Maybe they were planted there.
As I said, spooky. I don't really want to mess around with ghosts, so...
Oh, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
I'd stay clear away.
Yeah, that's my thought exactly.
We're not
And I've got a
going
pretty
to,
good gig
but I
going
would.
here. It's pretty profitable, actually. Well, when we can get people on the boat. Oh my god. That's it. We just need to give away trips on the boat as like a prize to get enough people. Oh my God, that's it. I just need to offer rides for free.
Sweepstakes. No, not for
Yeah,
free.
yeah,
not
yeah,
for
as like a
free.
prize, like a
It's
fake prize.
Surprise.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, that's it.
5, easy looking marks just on the street, like tourists, Oh, hey, you guys want to take a tour around to.
Oh, it's so simple and so stupid. Oh, I'm going to make so much fucking money.
Oh, also, if you put up a tip jar, they might even pay you a little bit for it. But
Oh, maybe like a sign that says like 25% tips encouraged. Maybe that's a bit much. I might chill out. That's a bit
maybe
much.
a little bit.
Yeah.
Unless the thing is, you've got the engineer and the kid, right? You're gonna have to make sure that they're compensated in a way that they don't feel,
I
wrong
pay him.
about,
I pay him well. Come on. They wouldn't be here training his kid if it wasn't good money. They're paid well. I'm going to be honest. I think he'd turn up even if I stopped paying him. He's here for the love of the boat, which is probably why he turns a blind eye to the other shit I do.
Yeah, he's probably well aware.
Probably, but like we don't talk about it. Perfect business partner. I've maybe said 10 words to him in our entire relationship, and I've known him for a couple of years now.
Best friend you've ever had.
It's perfect. He's my soulmate. And she looks over and blows him a kiss. He watches the grizzled and he just shakes his head and goes back to the deck of the ship, goes back to the dials.
Can I see what is the kid's reaction to that?
He blushes and like turns away. Yeah.
Don't want to know. Don't want to know.
Well, look, it's been fun chatting. Lots of interesting information here. But I would like to know, though. I mean, you did say that the Owlin keep to themselves, but if you do have an enterprising, arrangement with this tour, and you pick up business, I would like to know if if you are approached by any other Owlin in the future.
Sure.
And I slip her some money.
Oh, how much money?
I slip her some money.
How much money?
A bit of money. Probably like 25 gold pieces.
Ooh, okay. Yeah, I mean, she takes the gold, hefts it a bit, tucks it away, disappears very quickly into her flowing robes. Do you know what? You guys are all right. Yeah, sure. If anything comes up, I mean, I've got to report it to the Thieves Guild anyway, but I'll make sure I let you know as well. Any new clients come aboard, we got to pay the tithe, yeah?
Of course.
So I'll let you know if any Owlin or Aarakocra. You've asked about them a lot. I don't want to pry. Something I need to know? Like, should I accept that business or should I say no? Is this like a Winterell situation? Because I've never looked into the Messenger Guild before, and now I'm starting to should I be looking into the Messenger Guild?
Start.
I wouldn't look into them.
Okay.
For your best interests. Best not to.
Maybe just avoid the heiress for a while. Things there might get a little bit unpleasant.
Turbulence, you could say.
Yes, turbulent.
Around the area.
But transporting arms is pretty good business.
Well, maybe that's the thing. If you are to get names of those who might be doing that sort of business, I mean, I know it's very profitable, but
yeah, right.
I would like to know.
Yep. You mentioned arms.
Well, you said there was going to be
specifically,
trouble there. I'm inferring trouble is conflict. Conflict means weapons. 2 and 2 equals 4.
Sure. That is now that you say that, conflict is good for your line of work.
Oh, fuck yes. That whole shit with the dragons and the cultists. Whew, we were up. And by we, I mean me, because I take most of the profits. I skim them every time. 45%. I've got 2 houses in Oxenfurt now. I'm renting them out. I'm going to retire in 2 years. It's going to be fucking great.
Heard of the conflicts going on with the hill giants? That might be of interest to you, and I know they need some help over there.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. Giants scare me a bit on account of them being able to just disable
the dragon
airships.
goddess doesn't?
I did get involved in that. I was involved in the post cleanup. I don't fuck all with that.
Airships.
Just what?
Yeah, haven't you heard? Yeah.
That's new. That's new.
Oh, well.
We're in the Underdark, so we have literally been underground.
Yes.
Oh, so I mean, so this airship, elemental crystal in the center, right? Connects to some airy space. I don't really know how it works, but like anyone who like uses a lot of the older airship tech, it's based on giant technology, like that they recovered from like Volantis, recovered from a number of the other sky cities, and like it can just be turned off apparently. I heard the other day there was a large vessel, probably some larger schooner, traveling over near towards the north, up near Killamant, and as it got close to this like massive flying hill, everything shut down, dropped out of the sky like a fucking lead balloon.
Bro, I'm just imagining like a giant invasion of somewhere, and if they do that to all of them, like a Skynet situation of just planes falling out of the sky.
Just a thought.
Yeah.
So Shana currently has the air of decency, yeah? Like she's with...
Yeah.
And she was going north, right?
Yeah. And the air of decency is a schooner.
Yeah. Can I, using the hand link, knowing full well that I might get Varys again, but really trying to get Shana, like, can I just sort of reach out and just be like, hey,
Whoa.
Can I grab a D100? You know the rules. You go and far afield, you're reaching out with the
shit.
stone. Let's see what happens. 35. Let me consult the chart.
That's not great.
because I want to say, I still take the sending stones, right? With her?
I'm taking a piss. Who is this? You do have the sending stone with Charlotte. That is true. Yeah. If you're,
So
I thought
this doesn't work, I'll use
I
the
thought you
backup.
were using the Heartstone to try and do that connection again, and I was like,
I'm trying with the Heartstone,
Okay.
but if that fails, I'm gonna backup plan.
with a 35, Lyra, as you reach out, immediately your mind is assaulted by this like harsh screeching of metal and static, and you have to sever the connection straight away.
Cool.
You watch as Lyra kind of winces and pulls her hand away from her temples and blinks a bit.
Out of game. Has that happened before?
Has what happened before?
That reaction?
You've never seen Lyra react like that. None of you have.
No.
No, I'm also asking Ali, whenever you've made this, because I don't know, like pre-campaign,
Well,
the connections.
I
with
still have
these
no.
people.
So Shana used to be in her head, and then they were separated, away. But she still hasn't had a successful Heartstone connection with Shana.
It's never once
okay,
worked.
okay.
I don't think anyone's had any.
It's
like,
never
like,
worked.
This was being
Yeah.
done beforehand.
This has never.
So
This
no
has
one-
never
so-
been accomplished.
So no one's successfully been able to contact anyone through the Heartstones.
Yeah, no, we haven't done that once. We've tried a lot.
You've tried a lot, and it's very, very bad rolls consistently, which is quite entertaining.
I mean, the last time that Lyra did it, she ended up like communicating with like some other entity, and then like, and then we had to like go sicko mode to like get out of that.
Just so you know, that entity. Do not worry. If you were concerned that you weren't going to get a reveal on that, don't worry. We will see more of that. Don't you panic.
Yeah, no, yep. I'm assuming that will happen eventually.
I'd rather not.
Nah,
That's
nah.
fine.
It's coming.
Love that.
Oh man, can't wait for that reveal. Lyra, no dice, unfortunately.
All right. Just like as sort of 25 words, it'd probably just be something along the lines of like that ship that went down because of giants shutting it down. Was that you? Are you alive? /safe.
Oh, are you sending that to Shana?
Where? Yeah.
Oh.
Sending stones to Shana.
Lyra, you send the message out, you feel it link and then transmit, and you wait for the response. And you wait. And you wait. And the link severs.
Yeah. Any chance that she gets like any downtime, I'm probably really gonna fuck myself over with these rolls. At this point, she doesn't care if she gets Varys.
Oh, okay.
She knows that he answered the phone last time, right? Like,
Don't call it answering the phone. Let's at least pretend we're fantasy. As we say on the deck of an airship, traveling over. Yeah.
The
Hi.
good news with the sending stone is I don't know what happened with the static with the stone, but the sending stone, she could just not have it. Like it just not like something's bad.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily mean it's bad.
doesn't necessarily mean that it's not bad.
It disconnected, right? It's not like it connected and then it disconnected.
So it's so
like
when you
someone
send the
cut
message,
the-
there's a period of time that the person can respond, and then the connection severed. So it just timed out basically. There was no the response didn't come in time.
She can respond whenever she wants.
Yeah, well, I don't think it's like explicitly said, but like the sending stone, I kind of imagine once you activate the connection and send a message, but she's got the other one, so she can always send a message back to Lyra at any point using her sending stone. So yes, Dave, you are correct. Yeah. But she missed the window to respond immediately.
Is that like a free text? Is that what that is? It's like it's like if you respond within 10 seconds, it's like free. Otherwise,
that's exactly
it's
right.
25
That's exactly correct. Yeah.
Okay.
For the second hour of the journey as well, just to put us in tip-top shape, I'm going to continue playing the song and just make sure that every single member has the 12 temporary hit points. And I did it last night, so I'll do whoever doesn't have heroic inspiration with the music for the final, because I can only give 3 at a time with that. So I'm going to take 1 myself, but there's 2 left over for anyone that doesn't have any. Hands up, anyone?
The temp hit points or
inspiration?
I think all of us should have it, but this is the inspiration because I can give it.
I've got inspiration already.
Has Harry got some?
I think I used it. I used it on a silly roll, so I'll take the inspiration.
I'll give it back, and then 1 more for Threign or Ember, whoever doesn't have one.
Where I think
what was the temp hit point? Sorry,
12.
The temp hit points were 12. Yeah.
For the next hour or so, the ship continues on through clear blue skies. Could I please have a D10 from Ali and a D10 from Christian? Just a D10
I love
each.
deciding weather.
Not weather, but I'll take the D10 anyway for something else.
Whether or not we crash.
10.
9 and a 10.
Okay.
19.
Okay.
Big numbers.
Big numbers.
As the ship continues on, again, through clear blue skies, the journey is calm and uneventful. You pass over fields below, small towns nestled amongst the slowly disappearing woodland as this vast array of farmland stretches south of Oxenfurt down along the coastline through, these little tiny towns, not even marked on a map, they're so small. And as you continue further and further, before too long you can see the great expanse of the Frey Lake over towards your left, over towards the east. This enormous body of water. Yes, Niles.
Can I be keeping an eye on our little speck in the sky?
Oh, they're still there.
They're still there, good.
I'm happy to have you on that 20 for that tracking. Be up, they're still there. Keeping pace, keeping right up, just watching. They're so hard to spot. They're sticking to the clouds. Every so often, as a cloud thins, they'll dive and switch to another one. Not moving fast enough to attract attention. They're good. Really good. Whoever this tail is.
What kind of distance?
They are almost invisible. A tiny, minute speck far up and behind you at this stage.
600 feet?
Hard to say. If it's an Aarakocra or an Owlin, at that distance, maybe 600-700, could even be 800 to 1,000. Like really far away.
What's the name of the? Sorry, you go. Mine's something else.
No, you go.
I was just going to ask what the name of is it a village or just a location that
where you guys are headed?
Yeah,
the village. Yeah, Wilwood.
Wilwood. Okay. Because I was wondering if Wilwood. So the large lake you're talking about. I'm just looking at the actual
just on the right hand side. Yeah.
Born or Staya. Yeah. It's that. Okay. Cool. I like that. It's real.
Yeah. Oh no, it's all there. It's all there on the map.
I sort of send a telepathic link back to Bart. I say, looks like our friend is still following us. Should we do something about that, or just let that happen?
Is there much we can do about it? If we let them know that we're onto them, that could stop our plans of checking on Palin.
Good point. I'll leave it for now. Just saying, I could fly up there, but you
could fly up there. You could try to beat the shit out of them, but let's just play it passive.
Okay. Just okay. That sounds good.
You're letting your Knicks show. It's okay.
Beg your pardon.
Joking. I love you.
Oh, don't.
I'll slice your femoral artery if you say that again. My shadow claw will strike.
Ali.
I was is completely unrelated to it. Just back on this the sky ship.
Yes.
From what I remember is the Air of Decency wasn't ancient giant tech. It was something that Griswold had Griswolded.
Based on giant tech.
Based on so it's still counted as the older tech.
All airship technology is in some way, shape, or form based on giant technology. And I'm going to say this as a free thing, even though Luz thinks that it's only the older ships that are in trouble. Lyra, you were there when they helped. Like, you were on an Air of Decency when it was first built. You were part of that whole retrofitting. Like, you were there for the whole thing.
He was sort of helping as well with schematics.
All airships use an adapted version of giant tech. And you know that even more because, like, in the very heart of that skyship, where you and Lockie were found, it's the same crystalline structure to generate that lift. It's all the same at its core. Yeah. She's wrong. You know Luz is wrong about this. It's not just old tech. Potentially, all Magitech based on giant technology is possibly vulnerable. Yeah.
0 day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the Y2K. Just suddenly all Magitech just stops. Oh, there was a show about that was like where suddenly all power stops unless you had like a little device with you that like disabled the nanites in the air or whatever it was. I'm trying to remember what it was. Something. It was good. I quite liked it.
I don't know that.
One of those short-lived sci-fi series that like got cancelled on the Sci-Fi Channel after like 2 seasons. After it was really like decent. Like what was the other one that was really good? They sent people back in time in Australia. Oh, Firefly. Yeah, sorry. That is the ultimate example. Yeah, Firefly. Never mind what I was going to say. I was going to say Terra Nova, whatever it was. Now, fuck that. Firefly. Yeah, I can't believe that got cancelled. Still angry. I'll carry that hate for the rest of my life. As the miles fall away below you, before too long, around the borders of the lake, just across what looks like a pretty large river heading back down towards the ocean, draining away the water from the lake of the Frey Lake, you can see a cluster of buildings situated around what looks like a bit of a hollow area. Behind them, rising up between them and the Frey Lake, you can see this enormous, what almost looks like a flattened mountaintop. I'm trying to remember the name of, I've kind of complete mental blank on the topography name for that. When it's like a platform mountaintop. This is so sad. Clearly I've been awake for too many hours. No, it'll come back to me later. And you can see like nestled down a little bit of a valley. What was that?
Plateau? No.
Plateau, thank you, plateau.
Is it plateau?
Yeah, plateau is the word I'm looking for. Yeah, this like plateaued mountaintop. Nestled in the valley underneath, you can see this collection of buildings and structures. From the air, interestingly, a section of the forest towards the southern side of the village looks almost like it's been flattened. You can see a number of trees that have been knocked down, a huge amount of new growth pushing through the underbrush around the edges of these trees. And it looks like there's a series of disturbances in the land. You can see hills that have risen up and cracked and moved the earth, as if something very large has moved just underneath the surface of the earth, crushing and pushing things out of its way. As the ship begins to descend, you get closer and closer towards the ground. You can see there's no airship dock for this particular village. Instead, you watch as Luz heads over to the port and starboard aft and begins jettisoning off these enormous, what almost look like harpoons, anchor-like harpoons that slam into the ground, cutting through the rock, anchoring the skyship in place as they slowly lower down. And as they get close enough, a little ladder is dropped over the side. Well, all right, we're here. This is Wilwood. Welcome to a town of no significance. I don't know why your guild paid so much to get you guys here, but we're here. And I thank you for your gold. And I'll be sticking around
That's
at least
where I was
until
born.
tomorrow. You were born in Wilwood.
Yes.
Yeah, so a town of no great significance.
Well, Fuck you. Just gonna start walking back.
I mean, I don't think even you're that lucky. Yeah, so I'll be sticking around until like probably noon tomorrow at the latest. So whatever you guys are doing here, get it done before then, and I'll take you back. If you miss that deadline, sorry, I'm gonna ditch you.
Fair
Well, that's
enough.
nicer when you were pretending.
Oh, thanks so much for coming on the Oxenfurt tours. I hope you've had a wonderful time. Please make sure you remove your bracelets and get the fuck off my ship.
Much better. And I'll like flick a copper piece onto the ship.
She looks down at the copper piece, gives you a withering glare. Goes like, it's not even worth my time picking that up. I'm gonna leave it there. It'll still be there when you get back.
Delivery.
Yeah, thanks. We'll have to. Yeah. How long do you reckon you guys might be?
It really did vary.
Couple of
If all
hours?
goes well, a couple of hours. If all goes well, it never
probably
goes well.
won't be quick. It probably won't be quick.
Okay. Well, we're gonna be gone for the next 3 hours. We'll be back.
We will
So
be longer than that.
cool, great. Well, then we never left you. We were here the whole time,
Yep.
waiting for you
No.
patiently.
Yep. As far as we're concerned, the ship's log never moved from this spot.
Great. Well, we're leaving the ship's log here, so we'll see you guys later. Bye.
Sounds
See-
good.
As the anchors are then retracted, the ship begins slowly taking off, leaving you standing at the outskirts of this town. It is a pretty small town. You can see there's clearly some mining that takes place. The side of the plateau has been partly hollowed out. Looks like some sort of like marble mine, judging by the very pristine white rock being excavated from the side of this plateau. Maybe 30, 40 houses, and then a couple of larger tenement buildings, which look like they could house possibly transient miners who come and go from the town. In the very center of the town, a very large, very old-looking tavern called the Green Man. And you can see the symbol on the tavern sign is a human face wreathed in what looks like oak leaves, smiling cryptically.
Oh.
The Green Man.
The Green Man.
Does from what sort of Mira told her about the new location of the flesh sculptor, does Lyra sort of approximately know where to find him, or is this just we know he's in Wilwood?
So last time,
Would Lyra know? Because
So,
you
yeah.
were.
Oh,
he's in a
way.
different spot because last time he was in Dromethium.
Oh, of course,
Last time you were told if you were seeking the flesh sculptor's services, you would need to speak to the tavern owner, and you could access his location through there. You get the sense, Lyra, that this could be a similar situation. Like the flesh sculptor offers a business, right? He needs people to be able to find him, but also doesn't really want too much attention.
As we walk up to the Green Man sign, I sort of nudge Ember a little bit and go, "Ooh, Green Man, fireman, bit of a rival for you, maybe?"
Yeah, I mean, I've heard tales of a green man. It's normally like a word for like fey spirits. Like it's a type of fey spirit, right? One that brings bountiful harvests and protects the forests. It's like a name for a type of fey. That's what I've heard. Anyway.
I nudge Lyra, and I'm like, "Oh, friend of yours then? I was wrong."
Well, funny enough, I knew a completely different story about that. But I mean, mostly, as far as I was aware, it was called the Green Fae, and they mostly just brought mad-ass hallucinations and a really bad hangover the next morning.
Oh. Well, that's quite apt then. A name for a pub.
Yeah, that kind of matches. I mean, look, wildfire druids who make too much greenery grow, we're going to be in opposition. I mean, my Ashgrove, we went around doing a fair bit of backburning for a lot of the forest to stop wildfires burn out of control. If there's a druid circle going around making lots of shitty little sprouts and stuff and increasing fire risk, then yeah, my rivals for sure.
Makes sense.
It's still part of the cycle, isn't it? I mean, you need the
They
fire
do
to
go
turn the
hand in
nutrients.
hand.
Yeah, look, if I see them and our eyes lock, we're going to have to battle. That's just the way it is. It's a tradition amongst our people for hundreds of years. Like once our eyes
the
have
Green
locked,
Man
that's it.
has a little green spirit.
He probably does.
Like Flicker there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Flicker's the strongest though. Like I've been EV training Flicker for a long time. He's had lots of calcium, lots of protein,
Anyway.
HP ups.
Couple of candies that are rare to find.
Yeah.
And
Oh man,
he was
rarest
even bred with
candies.
eugenics. I mentioned.
Oh.
What?
I mentioned he was bred with eugenics and IV.
What? No, that's what? No. I hatched Flicker from a. That's a long story. But no.
There were lots of different flickers that you just had to make sure they hit the right nature.
No.
Right?
Flicker's my first and my only partner. I only need Flicker.
So you've had to. Oh.
Yep, this is awkward.
Well, normally that's what happens when someone mentions eugenics, Dave. I tell you this. Normally that is met with an awkward
Into
silence.
the tavern, I will just mentally to Niles. There's no harm in trying. Wait, have you been here before?
No. This is my first time.
Did you want to do a quick fly and look for if there is a courier office here?
Couldn't hurt. Wouldn't take me too long.
It's not like we need everyone to speak to a tavern keeper, and might give us a bit of, I don't know, safety.
I'm happy to give you some free information. Right as you're heading into town, there is, in a lot of these smaller towns, rather than having a full tower for the Aarakocra, they'll have what's known as a postal tower. It's normally a 10 to 20 foot high structure with a drop box at the top for Aarakocra to drop mail in so they don't have to land, and it'll then slowly lower down the weight and imbalance, shifting and moving it to the bottom, and then a little lid coming over to seal it from the rain. There is a postal tower here. If you wait around Niles, an Owlin or an Aarakocra, depending on how often the mail run comes through here, there will be someone who comes through. I'm going to give you a bit of free information. As you look at the top of the tower, you can see it is still open, which means post has not yet been delivered today.
Right. So we can see it from here. So it's
at the front of the town. It's a 20 foot high structure in a town of single story buildings. You can see it. It's pretty easy.
Perfect. Is there any closed off areas similar to Oxford?
No, imagine rather than like a tower that you can walk in, imagine essentially like a telephone tower with a structure of wood, scaffolding with like a collection box. With a collection box at the top that Owlin and Aarakocra would drop mail in.
Like a letterbox.
Exactly. Like a raised letterbox. Exactly.
Yep.
It kind of looks like a big bird's nest.
It's exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Yeah. It's a massive. Okay. It's based on a design of chicken coop that I saw a couple of years back. When the eggs would fall in, the weight would change and it would lower the eggs down to a separate section so they could be collected really easily. It's based on that.
In that case, I will mentally to Niles. Okay, it's good to know that nothing seems to be happening here. It might just be larger cities. I just had a thought as well. The concept, we only need to have one of us speaking to the innkeeper. One person, the thing watching us, there's only one of it. It can't go in two directions. Did you want to continue onwards, fly maybe even out of the village and see if the figure follows you or us? And then if it stays with us, maybe see if you can double back and get a look at it from up high?
That sounds like a plan.
I don't know if you feel safe going by yourself, but...
Yeah. It's just, it's...
You can't hear this, Lyra.
It's just
you can't hear us.
Hoot, hoot, hoot.
This feels like some racism, Ali. I don't think you should stand for this. Or sexism. Piccanism. Piccanism.
If you feel comfortable, obviously don't risk yourself. But information, we know better than anyone in the Heiress how important that is.
Oh, I'm quite quick. I'm sure I can spare a little bit of time out of the city, and I can, out of the village, and I could be back before you know it. I do want to be there when your lovely wings are reattached.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Well, just give me a moment. I can step out real fast, and I'll be back before you know it. I think that's a great idea, though.
Okay.
Perfect.
And then I say out loud, I'm going to take a bit of a fly around here and just take a look from the air and see what I can see. I won't be long. Don't start
Let me know if they see any carrots.
Oh, I will. I'll let you know, Harry. See if this little town is an enterprising town for carrots. That would be an important stop for you, I assume.
He's the green man, so I assume they have a lot of vegetables and things of such.
I'll let you know, Harry. And Lyra, I can see, just, it'll be okay. I'm quite quick.
All right. Well, as long as you come back afterwards.
Okay, bye. Then I fly.
As Niles takes off at rapid speed, Lyra, Harry, Ember, and Bart, 4 of you head inside the tavern. As you make your way in, given it's like 12, it's like lunchtime, the tavern's not packed. There's a couple of people sitting around. Looks like a few of the miners from the quarry currently eating some food, having a bit of a drink. But it doesn't look like the end of the morning shift. These guys look like they're maybe about to start the afternoon shift and just getting a bit of food before they head on out and head down towards the edge of that plateau excavation site. As soon as you step in, you see the innkeeper, a very, very, very muscular-looking Maloran orc, standing behind the counter serving drinks, covered in an intricate web of tattoos. Again, another city over the heart, one that you've not seen before. This one looks like possibly another one of the cities. It's different to the Drifthaven that you've seen before. Design you don't recognize. And as you step inside, you watch as the orc looks up, gives you a nod, goes, "I see you. Take a seat. I will be with you in a moment." And nods, goes back to lifting up an exceptionally large barrel of possibly beer or ale, slamming it onto the counter, and then chiseling in to get the bung ready to go to start basically pouring out from this particular barrel. As you guys sort of head over to the side, take a bit of a seat. A few moments later, you watch as she walks over towards you, dusting some sawdust off her fingers and her hands. "Right, what can I get you?"
Nothing, please.
I'll have a carrot juice.
Carrot juice, and not something on the menu, sorry.
I'll have whatever you just tapped from that barrel. That looks cool. I mean, assuming it's ale or wine or something.
Very fine ale, a wheat ale. Very nice, smooth.
Nice.
Bart's gonna grab a napkin and cover the holes on his beak. The smell of the alcohol is giving some bad flashbacks.
Yeah.
We were also sort of told that are you the tavern owner, tavern keeper?
Yes, this is my tavern, the Green Man. I thought green lady, green man.
No, makes sense.
No, I
Definitely.
didn't name it that. I'm kidding. But it is my tavern, yes. I killed the previous owner, so it is mine. By right of conquest. I'm kidding. You're so dour. It's fine. I inherited the tavern from an old friend. We were drinking buddies for a long time, and he promised that I promised him that I'd run the place well after he died.
Did you kill him?
No, I didn't kill him. He passed away in his bed at the ripe old age of 83. Pretty good innings for a human.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We had a follow-up with it. And we were told that you might be the person to talk to about getting in contact with a particular bodybuilder.
Yes. If you are looking for the special services that can be provided, there is a door behind you on your way past the bathrooms. It is locked. I will unlock it for you if that is where you need to go.
Thank you.
Thank you for being so accommodating. I'll pull out like a silver piece, I guess.
Oh, thank you.
I'm still buying a drink, like, you know.
No, that silver piece will cover the ale comfortably. I have an agreement with our mutual friend downstairs. Do you know who it is that you're seeking? I must warn you, it can be a bit disturbing if you are not used to... Okay.
I'm used to them. It'll be a really fun reaction from the rest of these guys, though.
Yes. Okay. Just keep your cool. It doesn't like loud noises. And then she does one of those big smiles, the same smile she said when she was like, I killed a man for this tavern. Good. Whenever you're ready, I'll unlock the door now. Head down whenever you want.
Well, we'll sit tight for maybe 5-ish sort of minutes. I kind of want to check out this ale, and we've got one more mate that we're waiting for.
No problem. I'll keep the door unlocked. When you're all finished, just let me know. I will make sure you get out, lock the door behind you. We don't want people wandering down by accident.
Before you do pop off, obviously Tavern's an amazing area for information and adventurers congregating to learn things.
In Wilwood. Adventurers, not so much.
In Wilwood.
Miners complain about poor pay, about terrible conditions, so it's about the same as it has been for the last 50 years.
Just wanted to see where members of the Tempest Guild, seeing if we could aid in any way before we pass over.
I mean, if there's any adventure work you need, but
We don't need much here. This is a small town, out of the way. Not much happens here. The most exciting thing to happen was our friend arriving, and it did cause a bit of a stir, but now that we have come to an arrangement, I suspect we may be getting more people coming through. People from afar. I believe maybe more visitors like yourselves looking to take use of their services.
It's good to hear that you
have
don't
they
have
had many visitors since they moved here?
Only 3 so far. 3 groups have come through. 1 group left screaming.
Oh, yeah. No, that's fair. That's fair.
The other 2 made use of his services.
I mean, you wouldn't happen to know sort of if they've got a currently preferred trade material?
Their business is their own. I ask as few questions as possible because the more I know, the more likely I am to act like the first group. Run out that door screaming.
Yeah, no, that's also fair. That's also fair. Yeah, yeah.
I don't ask a lot of questions. Pays good rent, and as it's so eloquently put, might attract more customers. I'll get you your ale, enjoy your drink, and when your friend comes through, just head down. I'll go unlock the door now. It'll be unlocked when you head down.
Oh, you know what? Actually, because we're in an open sort of area, we might be here for the day. I'll be able to do this tomorrow if I need to. I will just, as sort of the drinks are being ordered and brought over, everyone's sitting down, I'll just wander to the front door, peek out a little bit, and then reaching to, I'm guessing there was like a wooden staircase or like the entrance, however the entrance is. I'll
little veranda out the front, little staircase down. Yeah.
Below the veranda, I'll just see if I can summon Kong Chi.
Yeah, a few moments later, Kong Chi appears. You tether Kong Chi to the... There's little stables off to the side for like space for 3 or 4 horses. There's 1 horse in there currently. That horse eyes Kong Chi very suspiciously as you lead this enormous fox-like creature. Yeah, he watches the horse, like really not happy about Kong Chi, but it's tethered. It can't really go anywhere. It's hitched up. It's not getting anywhere.
And before making my way back into everyone, I'll just give Kong Chi a look over, see if there's any unwanted additions.
Could you please roll me a D100, my friend?
What can it mean?
Who knows?
A 9.
9.
We never roll well on these.
I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but 1 end of the spectrum.
Let's have a look.
It's not in order or anything.
I'm going to get like Godfathered one day, and just the head of Kong Chi is going to appear when I try.
I will confirm that is one of the options on this roll table.
Oh my god, no! My baby boy!
Look what they did to my boy!
Look what they did to my boy!
But there doesn't appear to be any markings, any letters, any sign of anything concerning on Kong Chi. You check over the saddle, check over the bridle, check through Kong Chi's fur. There's no sign of anything untoward or unexpected. No sign of anything.
Okay, cool.
All seems good.
I'm fine with that. I will make the sort of like mental connection with Kong Chi and just like, I'm glad you're safe.
Kong Chi
sort of like thoughts of emotions.
Yeah, calm, excitement at being back in the material plane again. But Kong Chi seems happy, seems well. Seems calm.
Fuck, I didn't even think about this. I'll save it for later. I'll save it for when I meet the flesh sculptor. I'm gonna see if I might be able to repair Kong Chi as well. It might cost.
Don't worry too much about that. That was going to be something we talked about a little bit later.
Okay.
Because Kong Chi is a manifestation of your spiritual energy. Kong Chi is sort of tied to you and your form and how you see yourself. So we'll talk about that. Niles, my boy. As you take off, the wind whistling beneath your wings, your feathers fluttering in the breeze, silently You rise, catching a thermal that's emerging out of one of a large field that's recently been tilled, the dark earth providing beautiful warmth reflected from the sun, creating a really nice updraft that you catch higher and higher and higher. What's your plan? What are you hoping to do here?
Cool. So, at a dash,
Hello.
Niles can cover up a pretty good distance with the
Yeah.
45 feet plus, dashing obviously 90 feet, pretty quickly. He probably wants to start with just a bit of an obvious scout. So kind of scout, kind of flying the perimeter of the town, kind of getting a good look at all angles. To anyone looking, just maybe more of a precautionary sort of thing to make sure that things look okay. But also kind of taking on board what Bart had said. He kind of wants to deliberately just fly a little bit further than what maybe it would make sense, and just to see if that figure's tracking him or not.
Could you, excuse me, could you make me a perception or investigation check, please?
That's definitely going to be a perception check.
Man, bloody RSV keeps coming back at the most inopportune moments, and it's like, hey, you've still got shit in your lungs. Doing a fun voice. Every time.
That's 17.
17. Niles, as you scout around, sort of doing a slow circle of the town at first, you watch as a number of people come outside, see you circling. A few people begin to head towards the postal tower before realizing that you're not a member of the Messenger Guild. And you see a few people looking around a bit confused, then sort of looking at each other, then heading back, doing regular tasks. Interestingly, it looks like maybe people were expecting a bit of post at least in the next little bit, which is somewhat confirmed as you continue your lazy circle, arriving at the very edge of the mining site. As you sort of have to rise up a little bit over the top of this large plateau, you can see a decent chunk of this area has been excavated, creating an enormous hollowed out section in the side of the mountain. This beautiful, partly veined marble, these striations through the white of many different colors, not just dark grays, but also reds and these almost iridescent blues as well, like a lapis blue. This marble is exceptionally beautiful, and you can see a number of workers. Looks like they're beginning to get to the end of a shift. You can see a number of people coming back in from ladders and scaffolding arranged around the mine. A number of Warforged you can see working as well, currently lifting large amounts of stone and pushing them towards what look like these rollers of logs that transport the stone down the side of this hill. As you come round that bend back towards the front of the town again, you watch as diving down from an upper part of the sky, you see an Aarakocra dressed in the livery of the Messenger Guild, that light blue sash with the feathered symbol on it, and a bulging postal bag strapped to their side. And as they dive bomb down, you can see that this looks like a seagull Aarakocra. You can see the white feathers, slightly yellowed beak, yellow around the eyes, these little dark swatches of black feathers across their wings as they dive down. And as they get a little bit closer, you can see them begin to flap a little bit, having to get out of that dive bomb quite quickly. And then as they approach the top of the tower, you watch as they hover for a moment, reaching in, grabbing some items, dropping them, and then beginning to climb again. And as you kind of spin back around, you can see the seagull sort of gives you a bit of a look, gives you a nod, and then begins to climb up a little bit higher and higher. Whatever that speck was that was following you, you can't see it anymore.
Interesting.
Did you want to have a chat to the messenger bird, or? You can see they acknowledge you, give you a bit of a nod as they see you flying around. Yeah.
Sort of fly up.
As you get a little bit closer. Hey mate, how you doing? You alright?
Yeah, no, not too bad. Just arrived in town and thought I'd stretch out the old wings. How's it been? It seemed like those townsfolk were pretty keen for their mail today.
Oh, did they saw you and they thought,
Yes.
Oh, mate,
mistake,
I tell you
right?
what. Yeah, I mean, look, if I had $1 for every time people got Owlin and Aarakocra mixed up, I wouldn't have to be doing the mail run in this part of the woods, right? I'd be sitting nice and easy, talons up on a bench, sipping a delicious drink.
Oh, yes.
I mean, what sort of idiot thinks an Owlin does delivery in the daytime?
I know, right?
Are you with the guilds? You're not wearing your colours.
Oh yes, no,
no, you're Silverwind. I could see the. Yeah, nice. Oh no, you took it off. Sorry, he can't. No, he doesn't say that. You took off the symbol. That's right. Yeah, no,
take it off.
You're not with the guild. Fair enough.
Yes, no, no, not with the guild, but I have some dabbling with them and other folk. But say, I actually came from Oxenfurt, and I noticed the messenger guild there at the top of the tower. There was a bit going on there. Have you been to Oxenfurt recently and seen?
Yeah. No, came from Oxenfurt this morning. I took the. It's been an expanded thermal updraft generator. Creates a little shield of air around us. Gets us even higher. Recent installation from the Silverwind family, generously donated to a couple of the towers. Yeah.
Other towers got that fit out as well?
Yeah. Most of the major ones. Been a real strain off my wings, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, there was a whole song and dance about it. I'm making a real uproar and squawk going on about the kind, generous donation from the Silverwind family. It's even got a little plaque on it commemorating the opening of this new thing. Titus made an appearance. You know Titus? Who's the head of the Silverwinds? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
About a week ago. Yeah.
That's rather strange. I didn't think that Titus made many public outings.
Doesn't he? No, I didn't know.
No. I mean, it's usually his wife that does that. Anyway, interesting.
Maybe it was his wife. I wasn't there. I was stuck on the Palin run that day. I've heard about this mostly secondhand, and to be perfectly honest, I give two shits. But I mean, it's pretty good. Saves me a bit of wing strain, so I'm not going to complain too much.
You, look, between you and me, the Owlin around here, it seems like there's something amiss. Have you noticed anything strange, odd about them?
Owlin? Nah, mate, it's been pretty quiet. I mean, most of the lot who do the evening trip around here are a good bunch. I've not seen anything. Why? Do you think this is something we should be worried about? Something about the tower not right? No?
No, not at all. Not at all. I look, just keeping an eye on things here, and I was wanting. I've been away from the main area of Oshia for a while, and the new towers were a new thing, and I was just curious. I said,
it was a big surprise. There was no warning, just suddenly overnight, a whole bunch of towers. Major cities had them installed. It was quick too. I'm surprised how quick they all got that stuff. As I said, I was out. I was doing the Palin run. I arrived in Palin, and suddenly there's this whole new thermal updraft, and I get back to Oxenfurt, same story.
Extra personnel in those towers as well?
They've closed off a couple of the upper levels, a few of the places. They've closed up the upper. They say it's to help power the thermal generators. They need a bit more space to power up or something. So they've closed off a couple of the upper floors. But I mean, look, I'd be pissed normally because that's easier landing spot right as you come in. But whatever. If it means I can ascend quicker, I don't really care.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Where are you off to next?
Oh, mate, I've got to get down to Lastwind, stop via Green Nest, and then I'll be continuing on all the way to Dromethion. Got a bit. It's the overnight one for me. I'll probably land there late tonight.
Oh, jeez. That's a bit of flying there, friend.
I'm covering for a mate. You know how it is.
Of course. Well, actually, you would have just come here, right? Obviously.
Yeah.
You wouldn't happen to have seen any other winged fellows up and around this area?
I keep an eye out for wyverns. I heard they're still a bit active after all that shit a few months ago, but I've not seen anything on that. Been a long time since I was attacked on the wing.
Oh, well, that's good to know. But no other Owlin or Aarakocra?
Nah, mate. Not that I've seen. You'd have keener eyes than I would, though.
The fair point. No, I just thought I saw something on the way here, but maybe it wasn't anything. Good to know.
I didn't introduce myself. Sorry, mate. I'm Bryce.
Oh, Niles.
Nice. Lovely to meet you, mate. If I see you around, I'll give you a squawk. If you see me around, let me know. I know sometimes my eye's on the prize. I might not notice you, but give me a wave. If I'm flying overhead or if you're flying overhead, give me a squawk. Sure. Come down, say hi.
You fly into Oxenfurt a lot?
I'll be making the round trip towards Palin next. I'll take a few days in Jormethi on though to rest. So I'll probably be heading back up in probably Oxenfurt maybe 4 or 5 days.
Good to know. Well then, if I see you around, I'll be sure to give you a hoot.
Yeah, a hoot. I like it. Yeah. All right, I better get going. I'm already a bit behind as it is.
Oh no, I won't keep you up.
All good, mate.
Return back to my friends down there.
You have a good one. I'll see you around.
Yeah, you too.
With that, you watch as Bryce begins flapping his wings a bit harder and then catches the same thermal that you caught before, Niles, rising up quite quickly before heading back out towards the coastline. You can see tracing down the edge of the coast towards Laspire and Green Nest.
Good. I think with that, the specs... Niles is probably a little bit annoyed that the spec has disappeared. From this distance, can he see the airship that we flew in on?
The airship is currently headed due west at this point.
Okay. Cool.
Looks like it's headed out towards the coast and out to the sea.
Yep, that's fine.
The other thing you can see from here, though, Niles, that I should have mentioned earlier, down towards the southwest, there's a large plume of dark smoke rising over the ocean from out across the sea.
Oh.
Remember Ember spoke about a volcanic eruption down near Ash Grove. Looks like you can maybe see the tip of that eruption.
Right. That's out to the southwest, so out past Idegard and then out into the Shattered Isles.
Even further south, a tiny island just north of Gobreach.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. That's almost southeast. Okay.
As you fly down, join up with the rest of your crew as you all get ready.
Sorry about that, everyone.
Ember just shrugs. It's all good.
I telepathically linked Bart. It looks like other towers in the area have been outfitted with the same that we saw in Oxenfurt. Just spoke to the messenger just then.
Oh, sorry, Christian, you are muted. I will fix that. There you go.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, never mind. The only comment I've made so far was that I like that the seagull is an Aussie accent, Bryce.
Yeah, that's sick.
Anyway,
yeah, mate. Squawk, fucking squawk. Give me Chippy.
Give me a Chippy. Mine.
Come on, mate. Give me Chippy.
That's okay. I don't know if that's good news or bad news, but I guess we're not being watched, so silver linings.
Well, not that we know of. He might have just landed to get closer. But again, installed by the Silverwind, so not good.
I trust your eyes, though, so I think we're safe for now.
Okay. Without further ado, let's get going then, shall we?
As you guys head to the door, open it, you can see before you a hastily dug, like into the side of the rise of stone, a tunnel essentially down into the lower depths has been dug. Candles have been set up along the walls in 2 different key locations, providing this very meager light of this earthen tunnel held up with a few crossbeams. And as you begin making your way down the tunnel, before too long, as the firelight drifts behind you, you begin to see this strange, soft, white, very harsh white light coming from up ahead. Colorless, this, really crisp, bright white light that gets brighter and brighter as you get closer. And all of a sudden, you find your feet stepping off of the soft, loamy soil and onto this hard metal surface, clinking as your claws scratch against it. Bart, Niles, and Harry. Yeah, Lyra.
I was just gonna say, as we get up to this point, can Lyra just sort of like turn sort of back to the others and be like, oh yeah, by the way, guys, I was technically born in a place just like this from this guy. So if you're scared of him, I'll be sad.
Oh.
So like your father?
In a way, I suppose. He did make me. So.
To be fair, this is where your body was recreated. It's like, I like the way you're kind of misrepresenting this to make them scared of insulting your daddy. Quite funny.
She doesn't want them like running away in fear. She's like, okay, what is the easiest way to prevent this? It's like, yes.
To be
family.
fair, you have seen them face down a bit here, which is, I would say, probably the scariest. Oh, maybe the undead corpse of Elder Hunma. That was pretty fucking scary. There's been some scary stuff.
Shadari Dark?
Or Shadari Dark. Yeah.
Yeah.
high fantasy versus sci-fi. Like, it's like kind of different kettle of fish.
The corridor on either side suddenly is this harsh metal. Strange, seamless, almost like it's been molded out of a single piece of metal, but it is bizarre. And on the walls, you can see these glass spheres sunken into the metal, covered in these mesh wires, producing this harsh white light. They're LED lights set into a metal.
Oh, is it, as we're walking past, I just want to sort of lay my feathered hand across the wall.
It's cool.
Is any of it electrum? Is it like giant-esque?
It's not electrum. This is some other material, silvery white. This kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Not burnished or polished steel. It's when it's that kind of like matte coloration. It's like very low reflectivity, and it's this cool metal to the touch. And as you place your hands upon it, Bart, you can feel vibrations, this low hum through the entire structure, vibrating through your claws, creating this like scratching noise as you touch it. At the far end of this corridor is what looks like a doorway, this massive metal wall sunken in, this embossed section around it, and on the wall in front of it is a familiar sight for you, Lyra. This strange metal box with a 3x3 grid of squares and a single lone square down the bottom. It's a keypad. And as you approach, Lyra, you remember this vividly as you were in here last.
Do I remember the code from last time?
Last time you guys just pressed random buttons until a voice invited you in and the door opened.
Can I just knock on the door this time?
Yeah. As you knock on the door, there's this, for a moment, silence as you hear the knock echo throughout what must be a large hollow structure beyond, the sound bouncing around, warping and shifting until it becomes almost mechanical in nature, hard to differentiate from the mechanical noises of the room and of the structure around you. A moment later, you hear this crackle of strange, like, auditory noise, this like static noise, this single piercing whine for a moment, and then you hear a voice. Visitors. Oh, familiar. Sample requested.
We will discuss this when we get inside.
Should we be worried, Lyra?
Enter, fleshlings. And you watch as the door slides up immediately, revealing a large room beyond. Tubes, massive cylinders of glass, 12 of them on either side, forming a corridor in this enormous, almost like strange dome-shaped room. In the massive glass vials, you can see this strange, like greenish blue liquid, almost gel-like, bubbles rising very slowly inside of it. And there are forms, shapes of creatures suspended in these massive cylinders. Some of these cylinders, they get bigger as they move down the hall. The ones at the end are easily 30 feet across. The ones back where you are, about 5 feet wide, 5 feet in diameter. And as you begin to walk down the corridor, you watch as lights lighting up each of these massive cylinders. Inside, you can see a myriad of shapes. A large black panther-like creature curled over in a fetal position, 6 legs, and these long flesh tendrils covered in spikes emerging from its shoulders, frozen in stasis. As you begin heading down, all manner of creatures half-shadowed. Yeah, Lyra.
Before we get too far, I will warn them, he will probably ask for samples, It's up to you if you want to give it to him. He will respect your wishes. By samples, he means your flesh.
I'm expecting to see like Mewtwo in one of these canisters.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the one at the far end, to those of you who know what this creature is, it looks a lot like a spectator. This massive body, a single large eye, tentacles with eyes coming off it. And as you approach, you watch as the eye slowly turns and tracks your progress as you move across the room. But the rest of the body seems trapped, locked inside these massive cylinders. In the other large cylinder on the other side of the spectator, you can see a very familiar dragon's head, Lyra. Just the neck and head. An enormous brass dragon. The one you know flesh was used to make your body.
Ooh, that's a weird feeling.
I thought it was red.
I think it was brass, wasn't it? I could be wrong.
I thought it was red as well.
Wasn't it chromatic? Because it was a.
There you go. It's a red
It's
dragon.
evil.
I could have that wrong. In my mind,
I could be wrong.
That's all right.
I think it was a red dragon for
There
sure.
you go. It's a red dragon.
Yep.
Easy. Large red dragon's head, just the neck and head frozen in stasis. The mouth open, the tongue lolling out, clearly dead, unlike some of the other specimens in this room as you begin walking
The
down.
eyes definitely don't track us.
No, the eyes.
Specimens that-
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just going to ask the specimens that are alive. Do most of them look like? Are any of them women, children?
No humanoids in
think-
any of the in any of the vials, except for the very first one that you walked past, which has a how do I describe this without giving people nightmares? Imagine a human body taken apart with like the flesh lifted up, all of the nerves splayed out, like a 3D model of a human body taken apart piece by piece, so it's all in like stasis as it like hovers above, separated from the bones.
Oh, cool.
It's definitely not alive. Let's put it that way.
That's fine. I'm not sure how they came across corpses, but just as long as there's no one here that I would want to rescue.
In this moment, Bart, looking around at what's in these files and what's for you, rescue doesn't seem to be an option, and you're not sure what rescue would even look like. As you like place a hand on one of the glass vials, this whatever this substance is, it looks like glass, but it's not. It doesn't make any noise as you run your claw across it, and it's much thicker than it looks, creating this weird magnification effect, so that spectator's eye that follows you as you get right level with it, it almost seems to grow in size and then shrink back down as you move around the other side of the cylinder. The optical aberration of that surface creating this really bizarre, illusionary kind of force.
I will just test with the spectator so quickly as we're walking past it, forming a connection with the tattoo and just saying, hello.
Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck.
You hear in your mind, Bart, kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me, kill me, as it just repeats over and over and over again. This voice, laced with madness.
Break that connection, connect it back with Niles.
Yeah. As you walk forwards, at the end you watch as another set of these large doors, these ones like a hangar door, open up immediately, revealing a room beyond. Hanging from the roof is this strange cylindrical, almost like a large cylindrical piece of metal with hundreds of arms made of metal hanging down from it. Some of them slowly moving, stretching and reaching over to the ground, others to wall shelves and other aspects. Along the wall are hundreds of little boxes set into the walls, creating these tiny like drawer systems that these arms go and reach and pull things out of. Underneath it, in the very center of the room, is this enormous dais made of metal and glass, and screens of light. These slates producing this like illusionary surfaces cover every part of this desk. You can see spinning holographic images. You can see what looks like a holographic map in the very center, centered on what looks like this enormous erupting volcano in 3 dimensions. Laid out in the center of the table is a volcano rising up, lava spewing from the top, and watching it, tapping on a little slate, you see the strangest creature you've ever laid your eyes on. It is bipedal with 4 arms and this segmented chitinous body that at first looks like armor that it's wearing, these layered sections of armor. But a moment later you realize it is a carapace. This creature is chitinous and it has this carapace-like structure, much like a spider or an ant. You can see its head is this bulbous-like structure, large antennae rising from its head, massive compound eyes on either side, as well as 2 smaller sets of eyes in the very center, glowing with this soft red light. And as it turns around to see the newcomers, you see it has these enormous mandibles clicking in place over this tiny little, almost like maw. And as it sees you, you see the mandibles click. Ah, fleshlings. Welcome. Come closer. I will not bite. That is where we're going to wrap up for tonight.
Wow.
I have to.
Tasty. Harry vomits a bit in his mouth.
I love playing the Flesh Sculptor. So much fun.
Oh, he's so cool.
Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. It is wonderful to see all of your gorgeous faces once again. We are going to go and raid a lovely friend of the channel tonight. That is going to be, for those of you watching us on Twitch, none of our usual gang are up and running. Let's go see if there's anyone new that we would like to drop some friends over on. That's not in English. That's not in English. Oh, no. Let's go jump on the Cuter. I know we've jumped onto those guys. Oh, hang on. Oh, no, they're about to finish. Yeah, let's go jump on VCuter. Let's go give them some love. For those of you watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast, thank you so much. To avoid being captured by the Flesh Sculptor and placed in one of his vials, the only way that you can help save yourself from this fate is to hit the like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment. All three are accepted as samples, requiring no further part from you for the Flesh Sculptor. So make sure you get onto that. We will see you all in the next episode. Until then, everybody, stay safe, stay well. We'll see you guys soon. Farewell. Goodbye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah.